We are live, and your El Dorado Wildcats begin their march to the Rock with playoff action tonight from First Financial Field at Memorial Stadium in beautiful, historic El Dorado, Arkansas. This is El Dorado Wildcat football at South Arkansas Now and SouthArkansasNow.com. Our coverage tonight is brought to you in part by TCW Fiber. Fast, reliable fiber internet coming soon to El Dorado. EDP Solutions, printers and copiers, of course, but IT, security, voice over IP, and much more. First Baptist Church El Dorado. Connection, community, and hope. FBCElDorado.org. Glenn Mechanical. When you want the job done right the very first time. ProMed Ambulance. World-class care and hometown values. Equipment Share. Find out how easy the job can be with Equipment Share. Dyson Service Company, your local Lennox dealer. This is what perfect feels like. Union Killen Farm Supply. Corn, feed, and attractants for your hunting season. Carti Cancer Centers. We're with you. Cross Roofing. Put a solid future above your head. Harrison Financial Management. Your future, their commitment. Carl Malone Family of Dealerships. Once again, the mailman delivers. Lanxess. Know what's below. Call 811 before you dig. El Dorado Custom Carpets. Covering the floors, kitchens, and bathrooms of South Arkansas for nearly 50 years. Cadence Bank. Opportunity lives here. Cook's Body Shop. Bad things are going to happen, and when they do, look to Cooks. Country Village Sporting Goods. Everything you need to get you to the water, the woods, or your camp. Davis Farms Country Market. Locally grown, farm to table fresh. Especially for you. Anyone can buy a gift card. The best gifts are made especially for you. Jason Hardy State Farm. Like a good neighbor, Jason Hardy and State Farm is there. LSB Industries. Find extraordinary at lsbindustries.com. The Murphy Arts District for the latest information, concerts, and events. Go to eldomad.com. The Rushing Law Firm. Stop the harassing phone calls and collections when you have someone in your corner. Southern Sass Image and Design. The official photographers for South Arkansas Now and SouthArkansasNow.com. Off the Rail Cafe. What's better than Arkansas chocolate gravy or shrimp and grits? How about eating them in a rail car built in 1883? Arkansas U.S. Senator Tom Cotton. Want to know more about your U.S. Senator? Go to TomCotton.com. Timberlane Meat Market. Eat local, eat often, eat well. Madhouse 101. From romantic date nights to live entertainment, check out madhouse101.com. Mystic Creek Golf Club, the #1 rated golf course in Arkansas. Go to golfmysticcreek.com. PCI, are you ready to take your career to the next level? Apply today at polypales.com/careers. And now, let's go live to First Financial Field at Memorial Stadium with your broadcast team of Alan Tyson and Jack Sanford.
And welcome back to Memorial Stadium, where we are hosting a playoff game tonight. And in the booth with me, not my normal partner, but tonight I've got the Alan Tyson with me. Alan, just before we hop into the pregame a little bit, just tell me a little bit about your history with this program.
So, I was a part of the original 2009 championship team. So I played defensive end, tight end for that team, and we had a pretty salty squad back then. So I'm excited to watch the Cats. They've had a good year this year, 7-3, and we're looking to see if we can get advance to that next round.
That's right. And so you said you graduated in 2009.
I graduated in 10, but I was on that 2009 class.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So you just barely missed out on the three-peat.
I barely missed out on the three-peat. Yeah, I was fortunate to get the Reed brothers as they were coming into their peak. So with Taylor's still a good friend of mine, and Lucas won, I think, more championships than Taylor did. So both those guys were top-notch quarterbacks, and we had a really good group of guys from top down. So it was a good squad.
Well, and I actually was at Ouachita working for the football team when Lucas was there. Mm-hmm. And I am still an avid believer that if Lucas had Taylor's height, we'd be watching Lucas on Sundays. Yeah,
no question. Lucas was a pure thrower, and Taylor was a elite athlete. Like, Taylor could step anywhere on the field and excel at it, and Lucas was a pure thrower. So
yeah, and let's talk a little bit just about last week's game against Sheridan, where the Wildcats traveled to Sheridan to play. And I've got some of those stats right here with me. The first one that I want to point out is Jeremy Samuel, number 6, the starting running back for the Wildcats, he had 11 rushes last week and 204 yards.
Yeah, that's getting it done. That's getting it done on the ground. And if I'm not mistaken, it wasn't just that he had 200 yards, over 200 yards rushing, but he had how many touchdowns?
4 touchdowns.
4 touchdowns. That's bringing it home as a running back. That's kind of your dream. That's efficiency.
And can you believe that after the season he's had so far, that JJ has yet to receive any official offers?
Honestly, it doesn't surprise me the way that people look at El Dorado. We've got so many athletes that come out of this area that just it happens all the time, and it doesn't surprise me, and yet it does surprise me, right? It's that same thought process of you just have so much talent down here, and yet nobody really gets down here to see you.
That's right. And now the Wildcats had a phenomenal game. They won 62-23, and they had 501 total yards of offense. And J.J. Samuel was actually the one to have the longest play of the game with a 66-yard touchdown run.
Yeah, that can bring your rushing efficiency up pretty quick.
And we'll get to the side of the ball that you like to talk about, and that is the defense. And the level of physicality that I've seen just all year so far, leading up to this point, I don't think that I have seen a high school defense bring the level of physicality that this Wildcat defense brings.
Yeah. I mean, they're big, they're physical, and the thing is they swarm the football, right? That's the key when you're playing defense is get to the football, and if it's get to the quarterback, get to the football. You got to make tackles, and it's gang tackling, right? You can't. It's not just one guy. Oh, he's got the ball, right? He's got him. He'll bring him down. You got to have 4, 5, 6 guys. You got to have 11 guys on the field getting after the quarterback, getting after the football.
That's right. And speaking of the defense, anytime I bring up the defense, I'm going to bring this guy up because he's just been so phenomenal all year, and that is Ja'Cory Lumsey. I said at the beginning of the year for the very first game that he was going to be a player that I kept my eyes on. He has been a varsity starter since the 9th grade. And this is his senior year. This is his last hoorah, and this is his last round of high school football playoffs. And I'm sure that he's going to want to make an impression, a lasting impression at that. And have you had a chance to see just anything about Lake Hamilton's offense and what maybe they can do?
Man, I haven't. The Cats haven't played Lake Hamilton this year, right? I mean, we haven't really seen. We haven't really seen what these guys can do. I will say, just from the research that we can do, obviously, I mean, they struggle scoring points, right? I mean, over the last 4 games, I think they've scratched maybe 40, just over 40 points combined in the last 4 games, right? So that's something that they're going to have to figure out, right? Offensively, you've got to get the ball in the end zone, right? And if you can't get the ball in the end zone on offense, you've got to create turnovers and get on plus side of the 50 so that you can score in short fields. So we'll see. We'll see how they come out, but I think that the Cats defensively should have a really, really big advantage in this game. I see that the Cats, the way they play defense, the way they swarm the football, and the way Lake Hamilton struggled to score on offense, I think that you'll see the Cats defensively start to excel this game.
Okay, and we'll actually get into our keys to the game after this next break. But one of the other things that I want to talk about is just the history with Lake Hamilton, and you having come through El Dorado High School, especially when El Dorado and Lake Hamilton played every year. Just kind of give me a little bit about the history between these two teams.
It used to be a big rivalry, right? It used to be, it was the 2008 year that we were beat by Lake Hamilton in the state championship game, right? And then we go back to the state championship the next year. But, I mean, every year Lake Hamilton was always that team, right? It was that team that we were almost identical in the way the teams were built and the offenses that we played, the defenses that we played, and it was just a head-to-head matchup every single time we played. It was a lot of fun.
And so this Lake Hamilton team is 3-7 coming into this matchup versus a 7-3 Wildcat team. So do you think that the history is going to play an effect on the score? Do you think that the Wildcats are going to be able to come out and play the dominant style of football they've played all year?
There's always the passion side of it, right? There's always going to be that passion playing your rivals, right? I don't know how that rivalry sits today compared to what it was 10 years ago, right? But I do think the Cats are going to come out and probably take care of business on defense. I'm excited to watch them on the field.
I am too. And so with that being said, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break. And when we come back, we'll have our keys to the game here at SouthArkansasNow.com.
Bad things happen, and of course, they never happen at the right time. Maybe it's just a little bump and cosmetic damage, or it's turned into a huge insurance claim, and you just don't know where to go next. That's why so many of your neighbors and friends call on Cook's Body Shop in El Dorado. From the minor to the major, Cook's Body Shop is in your corner. Need someone to help you deal with insurance? Look to Cook's. Need advice on what to do next? Look to Cook's. Need a free estimate? Look to Cook's. Bad things are going to happen, and when they do, look to Cook's.
More product than ever in the store history. That's what's happening at Union Kennel and Farm Supply. A huge sale is going on right now, including 50-pound bags of deer corn, only $6.50 per bag. 50-pound bags of rice bran, marked $1 off. No one, absolutely no one, has a better selection of small animals, birds, reptiles, saltwater and freshwater fish than Union Kennel and Farm Supply. 1100 West Hillsboro in El Dorado. Or call 870-864-9229.
You're tough, determined to take challenges head on. But when cancer strikes, you'll need more than strength. You'll need the right care. We provide the tools you need to fight and the compassionate care you need to keep going. Every step of the way. Kartai. We're with you.
It's now time for Keys to the Game, brought to you by the Carl Malone family of dealerships. Once again, the mailman delivers. With over 200 brand new vehicles and more than 150 previously owned vehicles, you're always sure to find what you want at Carl Malone family of dealerships. Now, let's go back to the stadium for today's Keys to the Game.
And welcome back to Memorial Stadium, where we are getting ready for our Keys to the Game in our Jason Hardy State Farm pregame show. Keys to the Game brought to you by the Carl Malone Group of Auto Dealers and Power Sports. And Alan, we've already talked a little bit about these two teams and the history, but let's cut into it. Let's cut into the keys to the game. What's your number one key to this game for the Wildcats?
For the Cats is do what you do best, right? You run the football. That's a no-brainer. You've got to be able to run the football this game, and I'd anticipate that Lake Hamilton's going to throw everything they can to stop the run, right?
Okay, and once the Wildcats get the run really established, then that opens up the play. It really opens up the playbook, opens up play action, just straight up pass calls, and the Wildcats have run a lot of quick screens this year, and I think that really complements their run game really well. And so I think that if the Wildcats can get out and force Lake Hamilton to sell out on the run, they can bring some really big explosive plays on the offensive side of the ball. And then let's talk a little bit more your cup of tea. And what's the number one key of the game for the defense?
The defensive side of the ball, you got to create turnovers and stop the run, right? From a defensive standpoint, you've got to create turnovers and you've got to stop the run. You can do those two things, you'll be able to win a lot of football games.
And so far this season, the Wildcats have done a really good job of stopping the run and just a really good job on defense overall. There have been people raising question marks around the defensive backs with the Wildcats. However, what we saw last week was 6 or 7 swatted away, batted away balls that could have actually very easily been intercepted. In fact, we called them dropped picks because a lot of them hit both hands on the Wildcat defense. Right. So they're getting in there, they're breaking up plays, they're almost creating turnovers, and I can promise you that after as many dropped interceptions as the Wildcats had last week, this defense worked on catching the dadgum ball. In my talks with everybody over there on the Wildcat sideline. And so I agree. While the defense has to create turnovers, they have to stop the run. They have to be physical and just basically play how they played all season. Not change up their game, but force the other team to try and change up theirs. And Wildcats are just going to do what they do best.
Yep.
And now the special teams unit for the Wildcats. Earlier in the year, there were a couple of missed opportunities for the Wildcats on special teams, and it really hurt them against Sylvan Hills, where the Wildcats wound up losing 25-10 against Sylvan Hills here in El Dorado. But since then, we have seen the Wildcats make leaps and bounds on special teams as far as recovering onside kicks, whether they're kicking or receiving. We've seen better punt play. We've seen and then also, we've seen the Wildcats do really, really well on converting fourth downs.
Yep.
And, just kind of tell me, especially with your history as a player, what's it like to be on the sideline when the offense converts on one of those fourth downs?
Yeah, I mean it's a big it's a big driver for you, right? Like defense is prepping to go in, right? Fourth down, defense is on the sidelines prepping to go in case there is a turnover on downs, right? And then you get that 1 foot or 1 yard gain, right, that gets you across the sideline, right, or get you across the line, and boom, you're back going again, right? So it's a big motivator, right? It really engages the offense, really engages the defense, right? Everybody gets hyped up on the sidelines when those things happen. So,
and another really big important thing for the Wildcats on offense here is going to be to have those nice long drives to give the defense time to rest. Most of the time, those really big explosive plays happen because somebody was tired and let a man get past them.
Yep.
And so having those long drives is going to be really huge for this Wildcat offense. And they've done a really good job of it so far this year. And so far on the season, Cannon Jacobs is 99 completions out of 165 attempts for a total of 1,336 yards. He's thrown 8 touchdowns to 8 interceptions and has really helped just lead this Wildcat offense, not only by passing the ball, but Cannon can run the dadgum ball.
Yep.
And Cannon actually has committed to the University of Arkansas Monticello as a wide receiver, not as a quarterback.
Yep.
And, just kind of what advantages does that Wildcat look bring to an offense, especially when you put somebody like Cannon in?
Yeah, I mean it's a two-headed monster in the backfield, right? It's a two-headed monster. Those guys are extremely talented athletes, and when you have athlete like that at quarterback, it changes the game for you, right? You can do a lot of different things. It opens up the playbook a lot, right, for any head coach.
Yeah, Cannon has rushed the ball 114 times for 676 yards this year. And since we're going to talk about rushes, I'm going to give you the amount of rushes he has. You give me your best guess at how many yards he has. Jeremy J.J. Samuel has 156 rushes on the year with 17 touchdowns. How many yards do you think he has?
It's at least 800.
Yeah, it's at least 800.
At least.
Yeah, it's 1,051 yards so far this season.
Yeah.
Off of just 156 rushes.
Yeah, that's over. What is that? Right at 6 yards a carry. It's somewhere. I'm not that good at math. You asked the wrong person. It's pretty close to 6 yards a carry. That's a really good average, right?
I mean, yeah, it's phenomenal. And also, the Wildcats have had some guys really step up at the wide receiver position. Christian Williams has been absolutely lethal when they run him in the jet sweep. Justin Hammett has been the go-to guy when they need a first down, when they need to make and when the ball's in traffic, Justin Hammett is coming down with the ball. Right. It doesn't matter who's around him. And then another player who, at the beginning of the season, they didn't see him playing as big of a role as he has so far, but Jackson Pagan has just done a phenomenal job stepping up when he needs to on offense for the Wildcats so far this year. He's had some really big-time completions as well as drawn some penalties from the other team for being undisciplined, and was able to get the Wildcats some pretty critical first downs with the penalties that he's drawn, right. Which helped catapult them to a couple of wins.
Yeah.
And so Jackson Pagan has done a really good job. And then Christian Williams also plays defensive back, And I can't talk about defensive backs without mentioning Marsavius Ishmael. The guy has had lockdown defense all year long. He has a couple of interceptions and actually has a pick six that happened here in Memorial Stadium. And so this Wildcat team is looking really good. They're now the Lake Hamilton defense, their quarterback has had his ups and downs so far this season, but he has proved that he can get the ball where it needs to be in times where it needs to be there. The Wildcats are just going to have to do their job in getting pressure on the quarterback.
Right.
And I've looked at some of the footage or some of the film online of the Lake Hamilton offensive line, and I definitely see some holes that the Wildcat defensive line can punch through. And you know about Coach Jimmy Johnson's philosophy when it comes about getting after the football, getting after the quarterback, and just kind of let the people at home know.
Yeah, I mean, Coach Johnson was my defensive line coach when I was playing for the Cats. So he's big on physicality and big on stunts. He likes to stunt the defensive line. And
the producer at home actually just let me know, Alan, you were really close on your guess for average yards per rush for J.J. Samuel. Yep. It's actually 6.7 yards per rush for J.J. Samuel this year, and so hopefully he continues that trend and maybe even exceeds that trend tonight. And now, importantly, the Wildcats have to win tonight in order to move on in the playoffs. I mean, It's the playoffs. That's how they work.
Right.
Next week, if the Wildcats win tonight, they will travel all the way to Springdale and face a Shiloh Christian team that has done really, really well this year. Yep. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, Shiloh Christian's only loss this year is to Greenwood.
Yeah.
And everybody knows about Greenwood.
Yeah, undefeated Greenwood.
Undefeated Greenwood, P4, D1 commit prospect at quarterback. And so that's who everybody's looking to be in the state championship on that side of the bracket, and it's still pretty open. It's still pretty open on this side of the bracket. You've got El Dorado, who stands a really good chance. You've also got Sylvan Hills, who has a bye week this week, and then you've got Shiloh Christian, who also is with a bye week this week. And so it's going to be really interesting to see how the playoffs shake out. And obviously we won't know about next week until next week comes.
Right.
But if this Wildcat team were to make it back to Little Rock in December, what would that mean for this program? What would that mean for Coach Hill?
It just kind of it reestablishes the Cats back into the state championship contender every single year, right? I mean, it's at that point it would have been done with 3 different head coaches over the last 5 years, right, or 6 years, something like that. So I mean, to me, it just reestablishes the dominance that the Cats have had over the last 15 years.
I'd have to agree. And the Coach Hill comes from a great program in Harding University, where he worked with the quarterbacks, and he was there from 2017 through 2019, and then he's had a few other positions been the head coach at a few other places, and now he's come to El Dorado, where he's really brought that smash mouth down your throat philosophy of football back to this El Dorado program. And what does it mean what is it like to be on the other side of the ball? If you even know this, I don't know. What is it like to be on the other side of the ball, knowing like, dadgummit, they're going to run it right up the middle, and we can't stop them. Yeah,
it's a mentality, right? Like, when we played, the program that did that a lot was Watson Chapel for us, right? Like they were a wing T, power I team that just fullback, and they ran it, and fullback hit the end out, and it was just gone, right? And so it's kind of a physicality mentality for it. I mean, you have to play physical, otherwise you will get run over. So.
And, one thing that we saw early in the season against teams like Pine Bluff and Camden is that a lot of those teams would try and rely on their star player for back-to-back plays, and all of a sudden that star player is having to come out for a few plays, or even an entire drive, an entire half. So one of the big things is that this Wildcat defense is so physical that you can't rely on just 1 or 2 players to get it done. It's going to have to be a team effort from Lake Hamilton to make this happen. And so we're going to go ahead and take a really quick break, and we'll be back after this at southarkansasnow.com.
For longer than most of us can remember, Timber Lane Meat Market has been a staple of our community, where quality meats and friendly faces come standard. From everyday dinners to weekend cookouts, make it fresh, make it local, make it Timber Lane. Be sure to check out the daily lunch specials and like us on Facebook. Timber Lane Meat Market, 1336 West Hillsboro in El Dorado. Proud to be part of South Arkansas, and even more proud to be displayed on your table.
Fitting a buck to hang on the wall rarely happens by accident. It starts with preparation, takes some skill, and often even a little luck. Country Village Sporting Goods is your headquarters for all three. Right now, check out a brand new shipment of feeders, so new that they're still pulling them out of the boxes. A huge selection of lacrosse boots and plenty of warm weather camo for that early season hunt. And of course, bow hunters can't go wrong with the sales and service at Country Village Sporting Goods, 965 Smackover Highway in El Dorado.
When it comes to protecting your home or business, trust the name that's been serving South Arkansas for 3 generations, Cross Roofing and Sheet Metal. From residential roofs to large commercial projects, the experienced team at Cross delivers quality you can see and reliability you can count on. Cross Roofing and Sheet Metal, built on trust, proven by results. Call Cross Roofing today. Put a solid future over your head.
And welcome back to Memorial Stadium, where we are in the Jason Hardy State Farm pregame show as we get ready to watch the team captains take the field and do the coin toss. But, Alan, while we were at break, you asked me a really interesting question, and that was, what is my prediction for the score tonight? And I'll go ahead and give you mine, and then you can give the people at home yours. My estimate for tonight's game is that the Wildcats are going to win 52-14.
Yeah, I'm going to have to hedge my bet a little bit on that one. You took my number. I wanted 52. I'm going to say that the Cats are going to win 60-21.
60-21, and still in your number with 52. They say great minds think alike, but fools rarely differ. So we'll just leave it up to the people at home to decide what you and I are.
We'll see what they think.
And here comes the coin toss, and let's see what they do here. Showing some sportsmanship, shaking each other's hands before the coin toss starts. Did you ever shake Lake Hamilton's hands before the game started?
We did. We were a very, very high character sportsmanship team, so we were always on top of that, but we didn't like it.
Yeah, I know that's right. And under Coach Scott Reed, you were going to be a team with sportsmanship.
Yes.
Otherwise, you would know about it Monday at practice.
Yes, you absolutely would. Coach Reed didn't tolerate that.
All right, and here comes the toss. And it looks like Lake Hamilton won the toss. And they will receive first, which means the Wildcats will take the ball to start the second half, which is really huge. And I feel like all year this Wildcat team has really been a second half team. Going back to the very beginning of the season, they started out down 28-0 against the Little Rock Christian Academy Warriors, and then they came back in the second half of that game, and the final score was actually 35-14. So they won the second half. They've done a good job, and we're going to take a really quick break before we come back for some action here at SouthArkansasNow.com.
Spice up your tailgate with locally raised farm fresh products at Davis Farms Country Market, like the new Code 3 and Davis Double D Farm Salsa, fresh from the field in locally grown Purple Hull peas, super sweet vine ripened cantaloupes, Arkansas-made meals that are easy on your wallet and your time. And nothing says fall has arrived like mums and pumpkins. There are plenty to choose from at Davis Farms Country Market, 4523 Junction City Highway, or call 870-639-1323.
Non-stop phone calls, registered mail, repossessions, or threats of lawsuits from creditors, and it seems like no one is willing to let you hit pause and just catch your breath. You need the help of Robert Rushing and the Rushing Law Firm. Bankruptcy is not the end. It can be a chance for a fresh start. The Rushing Law Firm goes to work for you, letting you hit that pause button and start over. Call the Rushing Law Firm today at 870-875-2940 or stop by the office at 725 Northwest Avenue in El Dorado. The Rushing Law Firm.
And welcome back to Memorial Stadium, where we are getting ready for another equipment share kickoff. No matter if it's a DIY project requiring specialty tools or a commercial project requiring heavy equipment, get your project kicked off right with equipment share. And so Wildcats are going to kick the ball first here, which means they will receive it to start the second half. And like I was saying before the break, the Wildcats have been a really strong second half team all year. And in fact, they have scored more points in the second half all season long than they actually have in the first half of the season.
Right.
And so I'll actually be excited to see the Wildcats start off the second half with the ball. And we are going to get ready here for the game to get started. And Lake Hamilton has a decent size crowd showing up tonight. And here it goes. It's going to be caught at about the 30. He's going to go down right at about the 36-yard line in Lake Hamilton territory.
Yeah, good coverage.
It was great. It was great coverage by the Wildcats. Didn't allow many yards after the catch there, and so now we are going to get started with the first possession of the game. Lake Hamilton is going to have the ball here.
Yeah, I think we're going to see the Cats probably creep some safeties down and make Lake Hamilton throw the football here.
They're going to line up in heavy personnel. Their quarterback underneath center. He's going to fake the handoff here. He's going to roll out to the right side. He's going to get rid of it.
Busted coverage by the Cats.
That's right. Off to the sideline. Busted coverage. And that's going to bring up a 2nd and 10 for the Wildcats. 11:53 left to go here in the first quarter. And
2nd and 10, the ball at the 37-yard line.
Jace Bohannon is the name of the quarterback for Lake Hamilton. Sorry, I had to get my roster pulled up here. So Bohannon's going to get back under center. 2 tailbacks in the backfield. He's going to hand it off. They're going to run to the left. And there's a missed tackle. And Marsavius Ishmael is going to get the wrap up, get some help from some other Wildcats on defense. They're going to spot the ball at about the 44-yard line. That's going to set up a 3rd and short for the Lake Hamilton Wolves.
Yeah, they've got to seal the edge there. Seal the edge and attack upfield.
Seal the edge, attack upfield, and Wildcats did a great job of getting that outside leverage. Jace Bohannon back underneath center here. 2 tailbacks in the backfield. No wide receivers out wide. And it's going to be a handoff again.
There we go.
And he's going to be tackled in the backfield by number 74 for the Wildcats.
Yeah, that was that was getting upfield, right? That was attacking the football.
Robert Smith did a great job of penetrating the line there and was able to get back to the running back, create a tackle for loss, going to set up a 4th down here. And it looks like the special teams unit is going to come out for the Lake Hamilton Wolves.
Yeah, great defensive possession for the Cats.
It's always great to start out a drive, making the other team go 3 and out. And I'm loving these alternate uniforms that the Wildcats have on tonight. And a spiraling punt didn't get very high. It's going to take a few bounces down the field. It's going to be fielded, and he's going to be taken out of bounds in the Wildcat 45-yard line.
Risky play.
Risky play for about 10 extra yards there. And now the Wildcats are going to come out on the field, and looks like we have Justin Hammett down to the bottom of the screen. Wildcats are traveling left to right on the field. And Jacobs is in the gun. Twin receivers down right. And Jacobs is going to call for the ball. It's going to be a handoff to J.J. Samuel. He's going to go up the middle, and he's not going to get but about 1 or 2 yards here and set up a 2nd and long for the Wildcats.
Yeah, that was a little dive play up the middle, and Lake Hamilton read it well.
Lake Hamilton did read that well. That's going to leave 9 minutes and 59 seconds on the clock here in the first quarter. Wildcats are getting the play call from the sideline. And we've got twin receivers down to the bottom of your screen. One wide receiver up top. J.J. Samuel in the backfield. Jacobs is going to call for the ball. He's going to keep it, and he's going to take off.
Good pull down.
And he's going to get the first down. That's going to be enough for a Glenn Mechanical first down for the Wildcats. Move those chains.
Great decision, right? Nobody open. Tuck it and go. Get 10 yards, and let's run another set of downs.
That's right. And so it's going to be first down for the Wildcats from the Lake Hamilton 44-yard line. They're going to send Williams in motion with the jet sweep. He's going to take it and get all the way up to about the Lake Hamilton 36-yard line. And is that going to be enough? Oh, no, they're not going to. Okay, yeah, it's going to be right at about the 37-yard line for the Cats.
Yeah, look to see the Cats continue to spread the field out here. Lake Hamilton's going to put 8 in the box. They're going to spread the field out and see if they can utilize these athletes.
Trip receivers down low. It's going to be a screen to Williamson. And there's going to be a flag on the play as they go out of bounds at about the 38-yard line of Lake Hamilton. Let's see what this play call is going to, or this penalty call is going to be.
Yeah, it's got to be a holding.
That's what I would assume it would be, but you know what happens when you assume.
Offense, number 10. 10-yard penalty for
All right, so that's going to be holding on the Wildcats. It's going to take it right back behind the original line of scrimmage. Going to set up a 2nd and 11. Twin receivers up top. Hammett down by himself at the bottom of your screen. It's going to be a handoff to J.J. Samuel. He's going to power up the middle, and he's going to get a solid chunk of yardage all the way up to about the 34-yard line of Lake Hamilton, and that is going to be enough for a Glenn Mechanical first down.
Yeah, offensive line, good push on that play.
And Jacobs going to line up in the gun again. Same formation as we just saw. And it's going to be another handoff up the middle for J.J. Samuel. He's going to take it, get all the way to about the 20-yard line in Lake Hamilton territory. Your Wildcats get another Glenn Mechanical first down and are in the red zone.
Yeah, Coach Hill sees something on that right side of the defensive line for Lake Hamilton. He wants to just continue attacking. Looked like the same exact play.
And it looks like the same look. And it's going to be another handoff up the middle. And it's going to be stopped right at the line after a gain of about 1 yard. Going to set up 2nd and long for the Wildcats.
Yeah, I sympathize with Coach Hill there. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
Make them stop a play before you call a different one. I like Coach Hill's philosophy there, and it really keeps the playbook closed as far as Lake Hamilton's eyes go. You're going to have twin receivers on either side of the line of scrimmage here. J.J. Samuel in the backfield. Paxton Strong is going to go in motion. He's going to fake the handoff. Jacobs is going to chunk it and just overthrown off the fingertips of, let's see, who is that? I can't say who that is, but it's going to set up a 3rd down and 8 for the Wildcats.
It was the right decision. One-on-one with your best receiver on the sideline. I mean, you take that all day long.
I think it was Christian Williamson. Yeah, it was Christian Williamson, and just barely overthrown. Twin receivers upright. J.J. Samuel lined up on the left side of Jacobs. Hammett down by himself on the right-hand side. It's going to be a fake handoff, and it's going to be tossed to Christian Williamson. He barely brings it in. He's going to make a shake, bake, move, and he's going to go out at about the 5-yard line. And that's going to be another Glenn Mechanical first down for the Wildcats. 7:23 left to go in the first quarter. And they're going to run a tempo offense.
Moving quick.
Same look that we just got. Samuel's up the middle, and that's going to be across the line. It's going to be a Murphy Arts District touchdown for the Wildcats. That's going to make your score 6-0 for the Wildcats, barring an extra point attempt here. Allen, I mean, it looks like Lake Hamilton's having a hard time stopping the run up the middle.
It's I want to say that was the same exact play that we saw three plays prior. I mean, it was that same dive play to the right side, and Coach Hill sees something in that right side of the Lake Hamilton defensive line that he just wants to continue to attack.
PAT attempt is up, and it is good. That's going to make your score 7-0. Wildcats up. 7:17 left to go in the first quarter. We'll be right back after this at SouthArkansasNow.com.
Serving South Arkansas for 25 years, and all the while expanding and growing throughout the state. ProMed Ambulance is proving their motto of world-class care and hometown values. For example, their new mobile integrated healthcare communications center. This state-of-the-art facility allows communication specialists to work directly with local 911 call centers to ensure the closest medical team is always dispatched to any emergency. World-class care and hometown values. For more information and career opportunities, go to ProMedAmbulance.com.
Homes are typically heated or cooled 24/7, 365, using nearly half of all home energy. That new stainless steel refrigerator may look cool, but upgrading to the quietest and most efficient HVAC system can have much greater rewards. Choose a system with a Wi-Fi-enabled thermostat, so the most important appliance in the house is also the smartest, allowing you to set the perfect comfort level from anywhere. Presented by Lennox. Learn what perfect feels like at Lennox.com.
And welcome back to Memorial Stadium, where your Wildcats are winning 7-0 against the Lake Hamilton Wolves as we get ready for another equipment share kickoff. With everything from pipe fitters to excavators, get your project kicked off with equipment share. 800 Strong Highway or 1320 Molinard Avenue. Kickoff is going to be good. It's going to be caught. And he's going to break a tackle, fall forward for a couple extra yards before he's met by a host of Wildcats. They're going to spot him down at about the 38-yard line in Lake Hamilton territory. And, Alan, when we were at break, you were saying something just really interesting about the athletes on the Wildcats.
Yeah, it's just going to pose a problem for Lake Hamilton the whole game. I mean, you go down the stat sheet and you just look at these guys. It's 200, 300, 400, 500. I mean, it's just athlete after athlete after athlete that scores, that collects yards and scores points for the Cats. So it's just going to be really difficult for Lake Hamilton to key in on one guy and stop him.
Two tight end set. It's going to be a handoff up the middle for Lake Hamilton Wolves. He's going to break through, get a good chunk of yardage, about 7 there, set up a second and about 3 for the Wolves.
Yeah, when you're playing an offense like this with Lake Hamilton, it's all about discipline, right? You've got to stay disciplined. You've got to read your keys and stay disciplined every single play, because that one time you make an undisciplined decision, they will absolutely blow the play up.
And we haven't seen any other look other than this from the Lake Hamilton offense so far, and it's going to be a handoff to number 1 for the Wolves, and he's going to get enough yards for the first down. They are going to signal to move the chains, and that's number 1, Coy Autry for the Wolves with the run there.
Yeah, again, it's just discipline, right? You got to stay disciplined. You can't let all the motion, all the distractions fool your eyes, right?
And it's going to be a handoff off to the left here. He's going to be pushed out of bounds. Not before getting a solid chunk of yards there. Again, about 7 for this Lake Hamilton offense. Maybe closer to about 8. Forced out of bounds by number 1, Ja'Cory Lumsey.
This is one of those spots right here where you got to be really cautious about a play-action pass for Lake Hamilton. They opened the game up with a play-action pass, and the Cats busted the coverage, and they missed it. But you got to be really cognizant of that as you're in a short yardage situation like this.
Wildcat showing blitz on defense, a stacked box. It's going to be a handoff. It's going to be reversed. Number 8 is going to try and cut back up the middle, be tackled by number 5, Bratavian Brown. Man, as everybody at home likes to call him. And that is going to be enough for a first down for Lake Hamilton.
Lake Hamilton, same formation, multiple looks, right? Multiple looks. Everything is misdirection. Everything's misdirection, confusing your eyes.
And that was number 8, Blaine Sears on the run, a sophomore for Lake Hamilton. And they're going to come out here again, a single tailback in the backfield. Bohannon directly under center, motion before the snap. It's going to be handed off to Blaine Sears again. He's going to get around to the outside and be tackled after gaining about 3 yards on the play. It's going to set up second and long.
Lost the edge, but good pursuit prevented that from busting into a bigger play.
5:18 left to go here in the first quarter. Second down for Lake Hamilton. Wildcats are up 7-0. And Lake Hamilton's going to address the ball. It is a different look. They've got a wide receiver coming in motion here. They're going to hit him with a quick pass. He's going to get around to the outside and get enough yards for the first down. That's going to put him in about the El Dorado 25-yard line.
That's what we're going to see. That's what we're going to see all game is, nickel and dime, and then they're going to take a shot, right? And the Cats have got to understand we got to be prepared for play action passes just as much as we got to defend the run. But first step is stopping the run.
And they're going to check the play at the line. 2 tailbacks in the backfield. Actually, I think one of those is a wide receiver. And they're going to hand it off to number 0 here. J.J. Johnson, running back for Lake Hamilton, is also a sophomore. This is a really young team.
Yeah, I thought we were going to make the play in the backfield there. Little kick out block by the Lake Hamilton offensive line got our DN.
2nd and 8, ball on the Wildcat 22-yard line. 4:23 left to go here in the first quarter.
Same formation.
You're right. Same formation as the last play. 2 tight ends to the left, 2 tailbacks in the backfield. Jace Bohannon directly under center here. He's going to call for the ball. Roll out to his right.
Busted play.
And that is going to be a tackle right at the line of scrimmage. That's going to be no yards on the gain, and he's a little slow to get up. Bohannon is a little slow to get up. Looks like he might have got his bell rung.
He doesn't look like, he looks like he's in pain.
And he's holding his shoulder. But he is going to stay in the play. He is going to stay in the play here.
3rd and 7.
Got to love the grit.
Wildcats look like they're lined up in a blitz coverage here. It's a different look than we just had. And a flag comes in on the play. They're going to blow the play dead. Looks like it's probably going to be a false start. And Jace Bohannon, the quarterback, is still clutching his shoulder.
Yeah, Bohannon is not comfortable right now.
And that is a 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down for Lake Hamilton. That's going to set up a 3rd and 12 with 3:35 left to go here in the first quarter. It's going to place the ball on the 26-yard line in Wildcat territory. And Bohannon has come out of the game, and it looks like they are going to put their backup quarterback in. And that is going to be number 12, Hudson Davenport. 2 tailbacks in the backfield. And it's a handoff up the middle. And he's going to break free for a solid chunk of yardage. That's going to set up a 4th down, though. It's not enough for the gain. And it is 4th and about 2 for the Lake Hamilton Wolves here.
Just a simple fullback dive play right there, but all the misdirection, it confuses your eyes, right? It confuses your eyes and you get undisciplined.
Davenport getting back under center, 2 tailbacks in the backfield. Wildcats showing a heavy blitz formation here.
Working on hard count here.
And it looks like they're going to go with a QB sneak up the middle. And Wildcats are showing their hands in the air like they got the stop short. Let's see where they spot the ball and if they give them the first down. It's
going to be close.
It is real close. And
they signal first down.
They signal first down. So that is going to be a first down for the Lake Hamilton Wolves. Ball on about the 14-yard line.
If you're Lake Hamilton, this is exactly what you want, right? You want to chew clock.
Oh, and it looks like they're sending Davenport back to the sideline. And
yep.
His helmet had come off during the play. So number 9, freshman Pierce Moore is going to be in for a play here.
I don't know if Lake Hamilton thought they were going to go to their third string quarterback on their second drive of the ball game, but here we are.
That's what they say, every man up, and it's a
Fumble.
drop snap, and he's going to fall right back on top of it. Pierce Moore with the fumble recovery there, and that's going to set up a second down for Lake Hamilton. Second and long. Davenport is going to come back in the game here.
That's exactly what happens when you bring a third string quarterback in.
You're right, Alan. And so Davenport back under center. Again, 2 tailbacks in the backfield. And he's going to fake the handoff. It's a play-action pass. He's going to let it rip, and it's going to be low, incomplete pass. Very, very lucky for the Wildcats. Could have been a touchdown. Instead, it's going to set up a third down.
It's good coverage by the Cats, though. They were prepared for the play-action pass. They anticipated that something like that was coming. And, we were right there on the football. So, good defense right there.
Good defense, forcing incompletion. Lake Hamilton comes back up to the ball. Davenport still under center. And it's going to be a quick handoff to number 0. Oh, and he's got some room to the outside. He's getting left, and he's going to make it across the goal line. That is going to be a touchdown for the Lake Hamilton Wolves. That will make your score 6-7 with an extra point attempt coming on the way soon. Yeah. That was J.J. Johnson, number 0 for the Wolves, in on the touchdown run.
If you're the Cats, this is not how you want to start the game on defense, right? I mean, your defense has been on the field for most of the first quarter, and Lake Hamilton, this is exactly what you want.
And the extra point attempt is up. Skied it, and it is going to be good. That's going to make your score 7-7. Tie ball game, 1:33 left to go in the first. We'll be right back after this at South Arkansas Now.
Locks for our doors, cameras around our homes, alarms for our vehicles. Yet we go online with little to no protection whatsoever. You are 14 times more likely to have your identity stolen than your home burglarized. And if you work from home or have any business over the internet, the chances are even greater. EDP Solutions offers both full and co-managed security services, vulnerability assessments, and 24/7 monitoring. And this isn't some company on another continent. These are our neighbors who take seriously the responsibility of keeping you and your family safe online. EDP Solutions, delivering technology and office solutions with value and commitment.
For nearly 50 years, South Arkansas floors have been covered by El Dorado Custom Carpets. And not just carpets, but true hardwood, laminate, stone, porcelain, ceramic, marble, and more. And guess what? It doesn't end with just floors. El Dorado Custom Carpets carries a tremendous selection of backsplash, wall tile, and area rugs. The truth of the matter is, one commercial can't come close to telling you everything you can find at El Dorado Custom Carpets, 1601 East Main Street in El Dorado. Call 870-862-4945.
And welcome back to Memorial Stadium, where Marvin Garcia is getting ready to kick off the ball here. It's going to be a squib kick up the middle, bobbled. It's going to be fielded.
Oh.
And he's got, oh, man.
Ooh, shoestring tackle.
Shoestring tackle. A shoestring tackle. Let's see. And they're going to spot the ball at about the 42-yard line in Wildcat territory. That was a phenomenal recovery there by the Wildcats to pick up an extra few yards, and now they're looking at short field position here.
Yeah, you got to look for the Cats to spread the field out. But again, you Coach Hill right here, do you want to score fast, right? Your defense just on the field for better part of 10 minutes. Do you want to score fast right here, or do you want to choose some clock and give them a break?
Twin receivers on both sides of the line. Christian Williamson's going to go into motion. They're going to fake the jet sweep, and Jacobs is going to keep the ball up the middle for a gain of about 6 or 7 yards. That's going to set up a second and short medium.
Stop made by number 2, Jordan Amos.
Yeah, it fooled my eyes. I thought it was with the sweep. Fooled my eyes.
Yeah, I mean, it gets me a lot of the times as well, and Wildcats do a really good job of disguising who has the ball. And we're going to see twin receivers up to the top. And it's going to be a pass. Jacobs is in the pocket. He lets it rip and slightly overthrows Christian Williamson. And that is going to set up a third down for the Wildcats.
Little wheel route, and he had him open. He had him open, just a little overthrown, but a good play call. He's matched up on the safety, and the safety stayed with him the whole time. I think he's got a speed. I think he's got the speed against that safety to get open.
Same formation as the last play. J.J. Samuel down to the right of Jacobs. It looks like they were trying to get the Wolves to jump here, and so now they're going to wait for the real play call. It's going to come in. Jacobs is going to snap the ball and hand it off to J.J. Samuel up the middle. J.J. Samuel powers through, gets shoestring tackled. That's going to be enough for a Glen Mechanical first down for the Wildcats. Ball on the 43-yard line in Lake Hamilton territory.
Same play, same running play. They're seeing something on the right side of Lake Hamilton's defensive line that they really like.
I think it's a personnel matchup that they're really liking to go up that right side of the middle. Trips receivers up top. Jacobs is going to snap the ball. He's going to throw a quick screen pass to Christian Williamson. He's going to shed a tackle in the backfield and get to about the 40-yard line for a gain of about 1.5 yards for the Wildcats.
Yeah, good pursuit. Good pursuit by the Lake Hamilton defense there. I mean, but again, you make one guy miss, and it's you're running.
And that is going to be the quarter. We're going to be right back after this at South Arkansas Now.
Need equipment for your next job? Don't settle for the traditional rental experience.
The rental experience with Equipment Share is a great experience. We rent everything from dozers to skid loaders, mini excavators, even smaller hand tools. They've always got what we need. They're timely. The billing is quick and accurate. The guys are able to set it up. They do it through their phone. I love Equipment Share. Renting with Equipment Share is not like any other company out there. It's 1,000 times better.
Every gift tells a story, and at Especially For You, they help you make it unforgettable. Birthdays, wedding showers, baby showers, graduations are just because. Especially For You creates one-of-a-kind gifts made to touch the heart. Anyone can buy a gift card, but the best gifts aren't bought. They're made at Especially For You. Stop by and visit Especially For You and find the perfect gift for life's special moments.
Second and 8 for El Dorado, the ball, the 41-yard line.
And welcome back to Memorial Stadium. Wildcats have the ball, Lake Hamilton 41-yard line. You've got trips receivers to the top of your screen. Hammett by himself at the bottom. Jacobs is going to send J.J. Samuel in motion, and he's going to run it up the middle, and he's going to shed a tackle, break the ankles of a Lake Hamilton player. And that is going to be enough for a Glen Mechanical first down for the Wildcats. They're going to place the ball on about the 32-yard line in Lake Hamilton territory.
Excellent play call. Motion the back out of the backfield. Quarterback sneak right up the middle, right? He's another running back, right? He's another running back.
That's right. It's going to be a handoff to J.J. Samuel up the middle. He's going to be stopped just shy of the line of scrimmage. That's going to set up a second and about 11 for the Wildcats here.
Jeremy Samuel on the carry.
Good defense, right? Good defense by Lake Hamilton. They made an adjustment there.
It was a great adjustment by Lake Hamilton. It's going to set up a second and long for the Wildcats. Twin receivers up top. And he's going to fake the handoff to Samuel, make a quick pass. Oh, and just barely dropped. It was to number 4, Christian Williams. Had to dive for the ball, and it bounces off the ground. That is going to set up third and long for the Wildcats. 11:09 left to go here in the second quarter.
They've probably practiced that play 50 times this week, and he's thrown to that receiver probably 40 of them, but I think the tight end was open. The tight end was on the seam route was about to be open right there. So,
twin receivers either side. Jacobs is going to drop back. He's going to fake. He's going to barely miss getting tackled there. He's going to get rid of it, and it's just going to go out of bounds, but he had an open man downfield. And there's a flag on the play. Let's see what – there's 2 flags on the play.
Yeah, I think it's going to be lineman downfield. Yeah.
I think you're right. I think it is going to be an illegal man downfield.
Yeah, at that point, when you've got a screen pass like that, you've just got to tuck it and run because your linemen are already down the field at that point.
Ineligible receiver downfield offense. Number 75. That penalty's declined. Ineligible receiver downfield on offense. That penalty's declined. Fourth down.
All right. So it was 2 of them, and Lake Hamilton decided to decline either one. And so that's going to set up 4th and long for the Wildcats. And let's see how they line up here. Jacobs has punted the ball a few times this year, but it looks like he's going to take the role as quarterback in the gun. Twin receivers on either side of the line. He snaps the ball. Jacobs is back in the pocket. He's got some time. He lets it go. And it's going to be caught for a Murphy Arts District touchdown for the Wildcats. Let's see, was that number 9, Bronson Brock for the Wildcats with the touchdown catch? That's going to make your score 13-7 with an extra point attempt on the way.
Excellent play call. Inside receiver runs the post. They run a wheel route with the running back on the outside, and it draws the eyes of the safety, pulls the safety down with the running back, and they hit the post route over the center. Excellent play call. You were wondering when they were going to hit a big shot like that, right?
I was.
I mean, we've been thinking, run, dive, and they've missed on a couple big plays all game.
And the extra point attempt is up, and it is good. So that's going to make it 14-7. Wildcats take the lead again. We'll be right back after this with South Arkansas Now.
My name is Taylor Gear, and I'm the senior pastor. Maybe you live in our area and you don't have a church home. We'd love nothing more than to see you in this room on a Sunday morning. We're here every week at 10:15. We'd be so encouraged to have you with us anytime. We'd also love to pray for you in any way. If you have a need for prayer, let our staff pray for you. You can email us at prayer@fbceldorado.org. We'd be honored to get to do that. Again, I want to thank you so much for joining us, and we hope to see you soon.
With a name you trust, you can count on us. Glen Mechanical, plumbing, heating, and air.
For over 6 decades, Glen Mechanical has been specializing in HVAC, plumbing, and all mechanical jobs. 3 generations family-owned and operated since 1956. Glen Mechanical's business is based on relationships. They support and give back to the communities they work in. Contact them for all of your HVAC, plumbing, and mechanical needs. GlenMechanical.com.
And welcome back to Memorial Stadium for another Equipment Share kickoff. The ball is up, and it's going to be fielded at about the 23-yard line. Oh, my goodness.
Big hit.
That was a humongous hit just shy of the 30-yard line. Lake Hamilton's going to have the ball at about their own 29-yard line.
Pursuit. Defense they've got to pursue the football.
Golly, what a big hit. And now, while we were at break, really quick, you were saying about Wildcats hitting the big play, how you were expecting it, and how they led up to it.
Yeah, I mean, you're seeing it the entire game, right? They're taking shots every new set of downs. They're taking at least one shot, right?
All right, and ball is going to be snapped. It's going to be handed off to the running back.
Good defense.
And tackled right at the line of scrimmage. What a great job from the El Dorado defensive line there. That was Coy Autry on the run, tackled right at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, you're not going to see a lot of formation changes with Lake Hamilton. They're going to do the same exact thing, but they're going to do the same thing and run 4 different directions off of it, right? And so you've got to be disciplined in everything that you do. Again, same formation.
And it's going to be a handoff off to and it's going to be a gain of maybe 3 yards here. That's going to set up a 3rd and long still for the Wolves.
A good start to the defensive drive for the Cats, right? I mean, it's a good start on defense. You get a good stop, first down, defensive line bust through, get a good stop, right? Then you seal the edge on the outside. Running back's got nowhere to go, right? This is going to be a big down for them, though, because they're on the backside of the 50 here.
This is a slightly different look than the last play. Still fairly similar. He's going to hand it off, and he's going to try and get around the left side. He's going to cut back to the middle, and he's going to get right to about the 40-yard line. Looks like that's going to be enough for a first down for the Lake Hamilton Wolves.
So I think it was the same formation. They just flipped it. They just mirrored it, and they ran it. They ran the same exact play they ran the previous play, just to the other side of the field.
And it's going to be a different look to the lined up to the opposite side. Wildcat player is going to jump off sides, and that is going to be some yardage. They are going to be marching north.
Defense. 5-yard penalty.
So that will be a 5-yard penalty.
Yeah, they're flipping the formations, essentially the same formation, just mirroring it to the opposite side, right? And again, discipline, right? That's a discipline play. We can't jump off sides right there.
El Dorado shows that they're going to rush 5. Ja'Cory Lumsey's going to take a step back.
I mean, you essentially have 11 guys in the box here.
It's going to be a toss off to the right and a tackle for no yards by the Ja'Cory Lumsey. And that's going to set up a 2nd and 5 for the Wolves. 8:45 left to go here in the second quarter.
Yeah, safety's continuing to creep down for the Cats. Again, they've shown some play action passes this game. The Wolves have. I mean, they've ran 3 or 4 different play action passes this game. So we continue to creep the safeties down, but we got to be cognizant of that.
Davenport's going to get under center. He's going to take the ball. He's going to hand it off to J.J. Johnson, who's going to get around to the outside. He sheds a tackle by the Wildcats, almost gets a strip fumble or a strip tackle there, and that's going to be enough for another first down for the Lake Hamilton Wolves.
Yeah, that was close. That was close. He doesn't make that tackle there, and it's off to the races.
That's right. So Wolves are going to be in Wildcat territory on the 48-yard line.
Safeties creep down again.
It's going to be snapped, handed off up the middle. Going to be stopped after gaining about 2 yards. Going to set up a 2nd and long.
Another little fullback dive. And they've got to show different looks, right? They've got to show something else so that it keeps the defense honest, right?
That's right. That's right. So Davenport came to the sideline to get the play call here. And
remember, Lake Hamilton's still operating with their second-string quarterback.
That's right. That's right. Lake Hamilton does have their second-string quarterback after Bohannon came out earlier with a shoulder injury. He's going to he's going to fake the handoff. It's going to be a throw. Pass is caught by J.J. Johnson. Tackle made by Marsavius Ishmael, but that is going to be enough for another first down for the Wolves. Ball's going to be at the Wildcat 35-yard line.
And, I don't think Lake Hamilton cares that it's a second-string quarterback at this point. They're throwing the football.
That's going to be the Wolves' only their second completion so far tonight. You're right that they don't mind throwing the ball even with a backup quarterback, and they have been marching down the field. It's going to be a handoff up the middle to Coy Autry. He's going to be tackled, but not after gaining about 5 yards there to set up a 2nd and medium for the Wolves.
Yeah, another fullback dive.
And number 1, Ja'Cory Lumsey's going to have to come out. His helmet did come off at the very end of the play there. Ball's going to be halfway between the 30 and 29-yard markers on the Wildcat side of the field.
Gain of 6, 2nd and 4, the ball on the 29-yard.
Same formation, just flipped it.
Wildcats not keeping a safety high at the moment. Safety's going to creep down. So run up the left side there. And they blow it dead, but not before giving Lake Hamilton the first down. They're going to put the ball at about the 23-yard line. And Lake Hamilton is finding some success moving the ball down the field.
1st and 10, Lake Hamilton.
Yeah, in this type of offense, I mean, it's just misdirection, right? You're just grinding out yardage. You're grinding out yardage, and you may hit a big bomb pass, right? You may hit a big play-action pass, but catch the defense off guard.
They're going to shift up the formation just a little bit. Davenport's going to hand it off. It's going to be a reverse. J.J. Johnson is going to be tackled in the backfield by number 60 for the Wildcats for a big tackle for a loss.
Yeah, what a play. What a play.
And that sets up a 2nd and really long for Lake Hamilton here. Alan, do you think that they're gonna have to throw the ball here, or do you think that they're gonna stick to what they know?
I think at this point you stick to what you know. The play action pass doesn't work when the defense knows it's coming, right? You're you got to stick with what you know here.
And they still are going to run the play action. Ja'Cory Lumsey's going to chase him down and slam him down to the turf.
That was rough.
For let's see, he maybe got back to the line of scrimmage there. That's going to set. Oh no, it is going to be a loss of about a yard. It's going to set up third and 17 for the Wolves here. 4:36 left to go here in the second quarter.
So a little wrinkle from Lake Hamilton there. They set up a play action pass there. They've got guys running seam routes down the middle, but it's actually a screen to the left side, right?
And this is the first time that we're seeing them spread the offense out a little bit.
This is a shotgun formation. Yep. Coach Hill's going to call a timeout here.
And El Dorado's going to call a timeout. We'll be right back after this with SouthArkansasNow.com.
When it comes to your family's financial future, peace of mind matters. At Harrison Financial Management, they are right here to help you plan, grow, and protect what matters most. Whether you're planning for retirement, investing wisely, or securing your family's future, they will guide you every step of the way. Harrison Financial Management, your future, their commitment. PCI has been shaping the future of manufacturing for over 40 years, and they're doing it right here in El Dorado, Arkansas. PCI is one of America's leading producers of polyethylene containers, known for quality, innovation, and teamwork. Join a fast-paced, rewarding career where your work keeps the world moving. And because PCI is a veteran-owned company, they value things like dedication, diversity, and drive. Are you ready to take your career to the next level? Apply today at polypails.com/careers.
And welcome back to Memorial Stadium. Wildcats up 14-7, 4:15 left to go here in the second quarter.
Same formation.
Going to take it from the shotgun. Trips receivers down to the bottom of your screen. Quarterback's going to get a little running room. Oh! And it is a completion. No flags on the play. And that is enough for a first down for the Lake Hamilton Wolves.
Yeah, that was a difficult play to contest, right? I mean, quarterback breaks the pocket, right? It's free game at that point.
And I got a little curious as if did he pass the line of scrimmage before he threw that ball? I don't know, and obviously it's a little too late, but definitely something to go back and look for in the replay. He was definitely very close. So now. Oh, and it's going to be another different look. Twin receivers down to the right. Freshman quarterback in. He's going to hand it, and it's going to be called dead. I see a flag down on the far side of the field. And it's going to be a false start on the Lake Hamilton Wolves. That's going to make it a 1st and 15.
Yeah, and what Lake Hamilton was trying to do there, they had two receivers to the right side of the field, right? They're pulling the defense to this side, and then they pull both their guards to the left side of the field and run a power play to the left, right? So still trying to key in on what they do best, which is run the football.
See, they have 22. They still have 22 rushes for about 74 yards, but
Lake Hamilton's quarterback lost his helmet the previous play, so they got to put their third-string freshman quarterback back in.
Oh, yeah, and they tried to bring him in, but that play didn't count because it was blown dead before the whistle. So that's why the freshman quarterback has to come back in. Expect a handoff here. He's going to snap the ball. He's going to hand it off to Coy Autry. Autry's going to try and cut back up the middle, and he's going to gain about 5 yards and get back to the original line of scrimmage there. That's going to set up a 2nd and 10 for the Wolves from the Wildcats' 11-yard line.
Yeah, I mean, Lake Hamilton just doesn't care, right? They come right back out with the same exact play that they blew the whistle dead the previous one, right? I mean, they want to run the football.
And it's going to be the same look again. And it's going to be handed off to Coy Autry. And he handed it off to the tight end, Blaine Sears. That's going to be a gain of a couple of yards there and set up 3rd and 6 from about the 8-yard line.
Some pads popping.
2:55 left to go in the first quarter. Clock is rolling.
This is a big down right here for the Cats.
This would be a huge stop for the Wildcats here, getting 2 stops back-to-back, keeping Lake Hamilton out of the end zone. Going to snap it into the gun. He's dropping back. He's trying to take a look. He's going to be hit as he's trying to throw the ball right through the hands of a Wildcat defensive back. Number 19, Jaquavion Hampton, sophomore for the Wildcats. That's going to set up a 4th and 6 for Lake Hamilton, and it looks like they're going to send the field goal unit out on the field.
Yeah, we talked about creating turnovers, right? Creating turnovers. That was another opportunity where the Cats haven't been great at creating turnovers this year, and another opportunity that we drop a interception right there at the end zone.
Ball's going to be snapped. It's going to be up, and the field goal is going to be good. That's going to make it 14-10. Wildcats still lead. 2:23 left on the clock here in the second quarter. We'll be right back after this.
Derrick Henry.
Hey, Jake from State Farm. I saved so much bundling, it inspired my workout. Auto! Home!
Okay, and this is auto again, right?
Auto!
Hey, this is my living room.
Home!
Bundling, just another way to save with the personal price plan.
The dog isn't allowed on the couch, Derek.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
At Carl Malone Power Sports El Dorado, we've got the biggest selection of ATVs, UTVs, and motorcycles ready to ride today. Take advantage of special financing, unbeatable trade-in values, and service you can trust to keep you on the trails. Whether it's work, play, or pure adrenaline, we've got the machine to fit your lifestyle. Carl Malone Power Sports El Dorado, where selection, savings, and service all deliver. Come see us today.
And welcome back to Memorial Stadium as we get ready for another equipment share kickoff. This playoff game tonight is brought to you in part by EDP, El Dorado Printing Solutions. And he's going to field it. He's going to run back into the end zone, but take it back out. And there's going to be a flag down on the play, tackled at about the 20-yard line. Probably going to be a hold on the Wildcats here. Let's wait to see what the official call is. Oh, they're going to call an illegal blindside block. I didn't see that. I didn't see it being an illegal backside block, or blindside block, excuse me. But anyways, that's going to put the ball at about the 6-yard line for the Wildcats. 2:16 left to go here in the first half.
Yeah, if you're the Cats, you got to run your 2-minute offense. You got 2 timeouts. You got to lead. Don't make any mistakes right here. Spread the field out and let your athletes go to work.
Wildcats will also start the second half with the ball. Jacobs is going to line up in the shotgun here. He's going to hand it off to Sam. No, he's going to keep it, and he's going to get around to the outside, and they're going to force him out of bounds at about the 5-yard line. It's going to be a loss of about half a yard there for the Wildcats, second and long.
Looks like a little confusion on the Cats sideline.
Lake Hamilton's going to keep 2 safeties high. They want to make sure that nothing major goes over their heads. Twin receivers on either side of the line here. They're going to send Williams in motion. He's going to get back up the middle. Oh, take a hard hit, but jumps right back up. It's going to be just shy of the first down. It's going to set up a 3rd and short for the Wildcats. They're going to get in a hurry-up offense here. Yeah. Not calling the timeout.
They're going fast.
Twins down to the bottom of your screen. It's going to be a handoff to J.J. Samuel. And he's going to be stopped at the line. That's going to set up a 4th and short for the Wildcats here. And is Coach Hill going to punt the ball away here? He's going to they're going to let the clock continue to run. Lake Hamilton still has all 3 timeouts. And the clock is at 1:21. In fact, actually, as we hit the 1-minute mark, that's when the play clock will reach 0. Are they going to snap the ball before it hits 0? 5. And it's going to be snapped. And the punt is off. It's going to be right down the middle and take a Wildcat roll and it's going to be fielded at about the 46-yard line in Lake Hamilton territory.
Yeah, that one kind of baffled me a little bit because I thought Coach Hill would have left the offense on the field right there with 2 timeouts in your pocket to try and get a hard count, maybe get the defense to jump off sides right there, get you an encroachment penalty and a new set of downs, and he just sent the punt unit out. So that one kind of baffled me a little bit with those in your back pocket.
And so 51 seconds left to go here in the first half. It means Lake Hamilton has all 3 timeouts. And Davenport is going to head back out onto the field and take control of this offense for this drive.
Change of possession like that, you got to anticipate Lake Hamilton maybe taking a shot right here. Similar formation.
Wildcats stack the box. It's going to be a handoff up the middle. Ja'Cory Lumsey's going to get in on the tackle. He's going to get maybe 2 yards gain. 44 seconds left, and they still have not called a timeout. Clock is rolling down to 38 seconds. 36. And there still has been no call. Coach out on the field. They have all 3 timeouts and have not yet called one. And it's going to be handed off to J.J. Johnson. He's going to get around the outside, get a solid chunk of yardage there right before going out of bounds. It is going to be enough for a first down. Clock stopped at 16 seconds left to go here in the first half.
It's a little baffling to me because both coaching staffs have 3 timeouts for Lake Hamilton, 2 timeouts for El Dorado, and we're not using anything.
And it's going to be another handoff to Johnson here. He's going to cut back up inside, but get taken down. And tackle is going to be made by number 30, Trevalin Jr. Timeout, Lake Hamilton. We're going to keep it right here, though, with only 9 seconds left to go in the first half. And they're going to reset the clock to 11 seconds, though. 11 seconds. But, Alan, you bring up a great point. Both coaches had plenty of timeouts in their back pocket, and neither one of them called them until there's 11 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, the Lake Hamilton usage of the timeouts is even more baffling than El Dorado's, right? Coach Hill's got an opportunity there to potentially see if you can get an encroachment penalty, get the defense to jump off sides. We just send the punt unit out and essentially just let the clock run down. And now Lake Hamilton's got the ball on offense, and they're running down, they're going down the field. But we use a timeout with 11 seconds left versus, they got the ball with 52 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, you're scratching your head about as much as I'm scratching as much as I'm scratching mine, Alan. But it is what it is. It's 11 seconds left on the clock. Ball on about the 37-yard line in Wildcat territory. Lake Hamilton has possession, and they've got time for 1, probably 2 plays here if they take a shot. Davenport's going to line up under center. He's going to step back into the pocket. He's going to have a little bit of time. He gets a little bit of pressure. It's going to be right in and out of the hands of number 0, Spencer Poole. That's going to leave 4 seconds on the clock with a 3rd down for the Wolves.
The old adage is that's why you play defense, right?
That's right. Anytime a defensive player drops the ball.
At this point, it's a volume game, but the statistics are not in favor of the Cats. We just continue to drop interception after interception, right? And we're not creating those turnovers.
And looks like Lake Hamilton called a second timeout, but we're still just going to keep it right here with only 4 seconds left to go in the first half. And Lake Hamilton has to take a shot here, right?
You have to. If you're going to call a timeout, what they're doing is they're drawing up a play right now, right? They're essentially in the huddle drawing up a play. You've got to take a shot here. You've got to take a shot at the end zone and see if you can come down with a lucky catch, like something that can spark your team going into halftime. Because I don't think that Lake Hamilton thought that they would be in the position that they're in right now going into halftime, down only 4 points, right? You're in a very good spot if you're Lake Hamilton, and on the other side of the football for the Cats, you got to be concerned about the defense, right? They've been on the field 70% of the first half.
That's right. And so they are going to spread out the offense. Trips receivers down to the bottom of your screen, twins to the top. Quarterback steps back in the pocket. There's going to be some pressure, and he's just going to lob it up and let it go out of bounds. And that's going to take us into the second half. We'll be right back at the El Dorado Custom Carpets halftime show here with SouthArkansasNow.com.
Whether it's protecting families from the predators in nature, to helping food taste better and last longer naturally, or just making sure the local ball field is at its best, Lanxess is involved in our everyday lives. With more than 450 employees locally and more than $32 million in payroll each year, Lanxess is doing their part to be a good neighbor and leader in South Arkansas. With that in mind, remember to call before you dig. Know what's below. In Arkansas, it's the law and it's a free service. Call 811 before you dig. This brought to you by Lanxess.
Located on 1,400 acres amidst Union County's scenic timberlands, LSB Industries' largest manufacturing facility and its employees have been a part of the El Dorado community for more than 40 years. Working together as one team, we are proud to call El Dorado home.
If you're born and raised in Arkansas, make some noise right now. You got it.
They've built right here in your town.
Rated the #1 course in Arkansas by Golf Week, Mystic Creek is truly a hidden gem, complemented by a modern clubhouse, complete with panoramic views. It also features a fully stocked pro shop and Mystic Grill serving contemporary American cuisine and Southern classics. Mystic Creek promises an unforgettable experience.
Welcome to your El Dorado Wildcat halftime show, brought to you by El Dorado Custom Carpets. Whether it's one room or an entire home, El Dorado Custom Carpets has been covering the floors of South Arkansas for nearly 50 years. And now, with a review of the first half, analysis, and what we have to look forward to in the second half, let's go back to the stadium for your El Dorado Custom Carpets halftime show.
And welcome back to Memorial Stadium, where your Wildcats are leading the Lake Hamilton Wolves 14-10 going into the half. And Allen, so far we've seen a pretty physical game, a lot of running so far this game. So first, let's talk about the first drive that the Wildcats had, because they had a 3-and-out to start the game for Lake Hamilton had a 3-and-out to start the game and had to give the ball over to the Wildcats at the very start of the first quarter. Wildcats go down the field, they score, and then the game has kind of progressed from there. So just kind of, what's your outtake on this so far?
Yeah, I mean, for the Cats, their first possession, they go down the field on the backs of what they do best, the running game, right? They run down the field. They miss a couple deep shots downfield. They finally hit a couple deep shots, right? I mean, they hit a deep shot down here to score a touchdown on the post route from the tight end. But the biggest concern to me right now is the defense, right? You've got to be concerned, if you're a Wildcat fan, about the defense, because they've been on the field for probably 70% of the first half, right? Lake Hamilton has continued to put drive after drive after drive together, and they've gotten points on 2 drives, but it doesn't feel like it feels like a very, very, very physical, close football game. This does not feel like a 3-7 Lake Hamilton football team.
I have to agree with you, especially when this Wildcat team has been so dominant against their opponents so far this season. And you're right; they've only rushed the ball. I don't know officially just yet. I'm waiting to get the stats rung into me, but they've only ran the ball about 30 times so far for about 100 and
a little over 100 yards, right? But it feels significantly more than that, right? It feels like Lake Hamilton has just run the football all over this defense the entire first half. I mean, if you're the coaching staff for El Dorado, right, you've got to be really happy about it's halftime now, and we get the ball coming out of half. The defense gets to sit on the sideline for 30 minutes, and rest, right, which is pretty much what this defense needed at this point because it's been on the field so much this game.
And, that's actually something that we talked about in the keys to the game was offenses putting together long drives to give their defenses rest and how important that is. And Lake Hamilton's done a really good job of that so far. Lake Hamilton has rushed the ball 27 times for right at 100 yards, and they are 4 for 8 passing for 33 yards.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Their passing game is structured around all of their misdirection running game, right? And so, yeah, they've thrown the ball 8 times this game, but every one of those 8 drives outside of one screen pass were all shots, right? They were all shots downfield. They were trying to score touchdowns. So this offense is a difficult offense if you don't stay disciplined with your eyes. It's a very, very easy offense to get lost in, and that's when you give up the touchdowns, right? That's when you give up the big plays.
That's right. And Lake Hamilton's average starting position on the field so far has been their own 35-yard line. So not terrible field positioning to start each drive. Lake Hamilton has had 2 penalties for a total of 10 yards so far, whereas the Wildcats have had just a little bit more than that. But Lake Hamilton has done just a great job of running clock off of the board. They have long periods of time between snaps, and they're running the ball. And that's just going to eat clock off of the board. And I think that's why this game is as close as it is.
It absolutely is. It absolutely is. Lake Hamilton is doing exactly what they wanted to do when they came here, which is control the clock. They want to run the football and control the clock, and that's how they're going to stay in this football game. What they've ultimately got to do is give themselves a chance to win at the end of the game, right? That's what they're getting to. And if they can continue to run the football, chew clock, keep El Dorado's defense on the field, when it comes fourth quarter time, that defense is going to be worn down. So for El Dorado on the offensive side of the football, you've got to put some drives together that are a little bit more extensive drives, right? Big shot plays are fantastic, and no offensive coordinator is going to turn down a big shot play, right? But there's some give and take in this game, and from the defensive side of the football, if I'm the defensive coordinator, I'm going, hey guys, y'all run the ball, chew some clock a little bit, give my guys a little bit of a break here.
Yeah, that's right. And it might not play as big of a factor in the early third quarter, but when you start talking about late fourth quarter close game, man, and you're giving it 110% on every play, it's eventually going to come where you can't give 110% on this play. And so now let's talk about the Wildcats a little bit. We've talked a lot about Lake Hamilton. Wildcats have rushed the ball 13 times for 83 yards and are 3 for 5 passing for 48 yards. They have started their drives at their own 38, so a little bit better than Lake Hamilton field position-wise starting. Wildcats have had 3 penalties for 21 yards, and neither team has turned the ball over yet. There's been a few close calls for Lake Hamilton turning the ball over with the drop snap, and a couple of throws that were almost intercepted, but there haven't been any turnovers yet, and I think that's also a huge reason why this Lake Hamilton Wolves team is so close, or is able to keep it so close, is the Wildcat defense hasn't capitalized on those opportunities.
Yeah, and another thing that I would point out is the difference in the amount of plays that the offenses are running, right? The Cats have run 18 plays total. Lake Hamilton's run over 30, right? I mean, that's a big difference in this football game right now. Is Lake Hamilton staying on the field and continuing drives, whereas the Cats have had a couple of big shot plays. They've had a couple of opportunities they've missed on, but they're not capitalizing when they need to capitalize, right? And we talk about the turnover side. The Cats dropped 2 turnovers in the first half.
That's right.
2 interceptions that they dropped. That I don't think the one at the end of the half would have made much of a difference, but still, that's a persona thing, right? That's a when you don't capitalize on those opportunities that the other offense is giving you, man, it just creates opportunity for the offense, right?
100%. And with about 12 minutes to go until we come back for some more action in the second half, we're going to go ahead and take a break here at SouthArkansasNow.com.
Bad things happen, and of course, they never happen at the right time. Maybe it's just a little bump and cosmetic damage, or it's turned into a huge insurance claim and you just don't know where to go next. That's why so many of your neighbors and friends call on Cook's Body Shop in El Dorado. From the minor to the major, Cook's Body Shop is in your corner. Need someone to help you deal with insurance? Look to Cook's. Need advice on what to do next? Look to Cook's. Need a free estimate? Look to Cook's. Bad things are going to happen, and when they do, look to Cook's.
More product than ever in the store history. That's what's happening at Union Kennel and Farm Supply. A huge sale is going on right now, including 50-pound bags of deer corn, only $6.50 per bag. 50-pound bags of rice bran, marked $1 off. No one, absolutely no one, has a better selection of small animals, birds, reptiles, saltwater and freshwater fish than Union Kennel and Farm Supply. 1100 West Hillsboro in El Dorado. Or call 870-864-9229.
You're tough, determined to take challenges head on. But when cancer strikes, you'll need more than strength. You'll need the right care. We provide the tools you need to fight and the compassionate care you need to keep going. Every step of the way. Kartai. We're with you.
And welcome back to Memorial Stadium, where your Wildcats are up 14-10 over the Lake Hamilton Wolves here at halftime. This is the El Dorado Custom Carpets halftime show. And Alan, we talked a little bit just while we were at the break just about the passion that's in this game and the position that Lake Hamilton's in. Can you just elaborate a little bit on that again?
Yeah, I mean, just us standing up here, right, you can hear the passion from the fan base of Lake Hamilton. I mean, it's getting pretty chippy, right? I mean, it's getting pretty chippy. And, the back and forth between these two programs over the last decade, 15 years, has been top-notch, right? It's one of the best in the state.
Well, I mean, and not even just the past 10, 15 years, but, I mean, this is still an old-school rivalry for the Wildcats and the Wolves.
Yeah.
And when you have a team that has as rich of a history as these two teams do, meeting in the first round of the playoffs. You and I predicted kind of a high-scoring game, and so far it's 14-10 at half. So my foot's in my mouth.
I agree. I think we're both going to be wrong here. But this is what you want, right? This is playoff football. I mean, this is rivalry, first week of the playoffs, rivalry game at El Dorado, right? And it's a 14-10 football game. I mean, it's a physical playoff football game. It's what you want.
And, speaking of physical, we've seen both teams, and especially El Dorado, lay down some big hits so far. And in fact, actually, the starting quarterback for Lake Hamilton had to come out of the game with a shoulder injury. Yep. And so Davenport, number 12, is in their second-string quarterback. And actually, because they're down to their second-string quarterback a couple times, their third string has even had to come in a little bit.
Yeah.
And so, if you're the Lake Hamilton coach, you weren't planning on having your third-string quarterback get in at all this game.
No, your freshman third-string quarterback has to come in, and the first snap he gets, he fumbles the football, right? Understandable. You're a freshman coming into a playoff game, right? And I don't think anybody on the Lake Hamilton sideline thought, well, we need to make sure that our third stringer is ready to go.
Right.
It's just, but this is playoff football, right? Things happen like this. You've got to be able to adapt and overcome. And fortunately for Lake Hamilton, their style of offensive play, it's not really conducive to quarterback play, right? They can plug and play a quarterback because they're primarily running and attacking the outsides and fullback dives, right? And so you're not necessarily losing a ton by losing your starting quarterback, although you want their starting quarterback in, they want their starting quarterback in the game, right? But you're not losing a ton with this offense, where on the other side of the field, if you're El Dorado and you lose your starter, you throw the football a lot, right? So and he's also a massive piece of that rushing offense.
That's right. And so, looking forward into the second half, I definitely want to see the Wildcats connect on some of those big passing plays. But I also want to go back to what you said earlier in that Wildcats need to put together a few, at least 2 long drives to give their defense a chance to rest, especially if it's right after the Lake Hamilton Wolves have a long drive.
Yeah, I think for the Cats coming out in the second half, right? It's going to be about the defense, right? It's going to be about the defense. They have got to play disciplined football. They've got to be disciplined. They've got to keep their eyes in the right spots. They cannot get fooled by motions. They can't get fooled by all the schematic things that Lake Hamilton is doing, which is very simple, but yet they, from the same formation, they attack every possible part of the field on the running game, and then they also have play actions based around that formation, right, or around those formations. So you've got to play really disciplined football if you're El Dorado.
And I think another thing that El Dorado really needs just to help get them going on defense is the defensive line has got to get just a little bit more pressure in the backfield. I know that it's been a lot of run plays, but anytime it's going to be a pass play, you have to have 1 or 2 or 3 purple jerseys in the backfield.
Right. In the last play of the half, they don't even get a shot at the end zone, right? Because our 3 down linemen are attacking the football, right? They're attacking the football. He's got nowhere to go. He's got no time, right? It's the defensive side of the football is going to be the biggest concern over the course of the next 24 minutes in this game, right? It is. You're going to have to get off the field. You're going to have to create turnovers on defense, whether that's some type of strip fumble or if you catch Lake Hamilton. Again, Lake Hamilton's done the ball 8 times. 2 of those were opportunities for interceptions, right? So 25% of the time they throw the football, they've thrown it to the El Dorado defense. We just haven't been able to capitalize.
I mean, yeah, that's right. They maybe aren't being the most disciplined with where they're letting the football go whenever they're passing it, and it very easily could have turned into some pretty big plays for the Wildcat defense, and it hasn't so far, but that's not to say that it couldn't in the second half.
Right.
And so I think you're right. I think the Wildcat defense is going to be the determining factor of this game. How long can the Wildcat defense hold up and keep Lake Hamilton out of the end zone or just from getting points in general? And then when Cannon and J.J. Samuel and the offense get a hold of the ball, can they put together long drives to give the defense a break? And can they get it into the end zone when Lake Hamilton fails to do so?
Yeah, I think that you've got to attack, right? You've got to come out. The Cats get the ball at halftime, right? In the second half, you've got to come out and attack. You've got to come out and set the tone with one of the best rushing attacks in the state, right? You've got to run the football, and you've got to run the football right down the throat of Lake Hamilton and essentially capitalize on that part of the game, right? Because I don't feel, and we can look at the statistics again, but I don't feel like El Dorado has run the football very well. Although they have run the football, it hasn't been near as effective at maintaining drives for them over the course of the first half.
Well, I mean, the Wildcats still haven't even run 20 plays yet in the game, which is very uncharacteristic of this Wildcat offense, because most of the time they have the ball longer in the first half and they run the ball a lot more. But they got some pretty big explosive pass plays that were able to shorten their drives a little bit. And so, really, the Wildcat offense hasn't even gotten a chance to get started going, and they have 14 points on the board. So I think with the second half, a Wildcat offense that is warmed up and ready to go is going to come out and stand a really good chance. And it's just going to be about how long of a drive can they put together, how many points can they put on the board to give their defense as much of a break and as a cushion as possible.
Yeah, I think the first drive of the second half is going to really dictate a lot about how the second half is going to go for the Cats, right? I mean, if they come out and lay an egg and go 3 and out, right, and then the defense is right back on the field, you start to feel some concerns here. I mean, you start to feel some concerns because the defense has not really been able to stop Lake Hamilton. They've just consistently been able to get 3, 4, 8 yards, 9 yards, 12 yards, and then they take a shot, right? El Dorado's got to play that disciplined defensive football and get back to that physical defensive football that they've played all year.
Yeah, and we haven't seen anybody run the ball yet except for J.J. Samuel tonight, and usually the Wildcats have a whole onslaught of running backs that they sub out throughout the game to keep legs fresh. So I expect to see in the second half we will still see J.J. Samuel a good bit. We might see guys like Jeremiah Warner and Jalen Dunn get in as well, but J.J. Samuel still has a fresh set of legs under him, and I think that he's going to be able to come in and do a lot of damage. But we've got about 2 minutes here until the Wildcats get ready for play again, so we're going to take a 2-minute break here at SouthArkansasNow.com.
Hitting a buck to hang on the wall rarely happens by accident. It starts with preparation, takes some skill, and often even a little luck. Country Village Sporting Goods is your headquarters for all three. Right now, check out a brand new shipment of feeders, so new that they're still pulling them out of the boxes. A huge selection of lacrosse boots and plenty of warm weather camo for that early season hunt. And of course, bow hunters can't go wrong with the sales and service at Country Village Sporting Goods, 965 Smackover Highway in El Dorado.
When it comes to protecting your home or business, trust the name that's been serving South Arkansas for 3 generations, Cross Roofing and Sheet Metal. From residential roofs to large commercial projects, the experienced team at Cross delivers quality you can see and reliability you can count on. Cross Roofing and Sheet Metal, built on trust, proven by results. Call Cross Roofing today. Put a solid future over your head. For longer than most of us can remember, Timber Lane Meat Market has been a staple of our community, where quality meats and friendly faces come standard. From everyday dinners to weekend cookouts, make it fresh, make it local, make it Timber Lane. Be sure to check out the daily lunch specials and like us on Facebook. Timber Lane Meat Market, 1336 West Hillsboro in El Dorado. Proud to be part of South Arkansas, and even more proud to be displayed on your table.
And welcome back to Memorial Stadium, where we're getting ready to kick off the second half. Alan, we talked a little bit about it at break, and you said that you expect to see Lake Hamilton stay in that 2-3 shell, try not to let anything explosive happen from the Wildcats. But what do you think could happen from the Wildcats that would be explosive, or maybe that we saw in the first half?
You've got to find the mismatches, right? Lake Hamilton they've done a really good job of not showing weaknesses, right? They've done a really good job of not showing weaknesses to the El Dorado offense. You've got to create some mismatches. You've got to get the ball out on the perimeter and force that defense to spread itself out, so that then you can run that ball right back up the middle, right? Once you get that ball out on the perimeter and make that defense have to respect that sideline to sideline look, that's where you're going to start to see that defense spread out and create those running lanes. And,
anytime that they were sending it to sending J.J. Samuel in motion, they were getting that wheel route / post look that we saw for a touchdown, and almost be a touchdown for a couple of plays.
Right.
And it looks like we're getting ready here for another equipment share kickoff. With everything from pipe fitters to excavators, get your project kicked off right with equipment share. And so Wildcats kicked the ball off to start the game, so that means that they will receive to start the second half. And
last kickoff, they kicked it into the end zone.
And it is booted, and it's going to go over the head into the end zone, and it is going to be a touchback. Wow, what a kick.
Yeah, that was big.
I think that's maybe the third time all season long that I've actually seen a kickoff go into the end zone.
Yeah.
And, when you think back to those state championship winning Wildcat teams with kickers like Colby and Clay Murphy, they were going through the back of the end zone.
Yeah, they were special. They were special guys.
All right, Wildcats getting ready to take the possession of the ball here at their own 20-yard line. They're going to send Christian Williams into motion. They're going to hand it off to J.J. Samuel up the middle. He's going to break through a couple of Lake Hamilton Wolves before getting brought down at about the 23-yard line. It's going to set up 2nd and 7.
Yeah, motioning the receivers over, trying to change the eyesight of the linebackers, create a little mismatch, and another dive play.
I think the Wildcats are going to use a lot more motion to start in the second half here. And it's going to be a fake handoff to J.J. Samuel. slant across the field.
What a
Christian
play.
Williams with the catch, and he's going to just keep going. He's to the 15, the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Wildcats. That is a Murphy Arts District touchdown for the Wildcats. No flags down on the play. That is a 77-yard touchdown pass from Cannon Jacobs to Christian Williams.
And you know, it's a slant route. It's a simple slant route. You've got man coverage over the safety, over the top, right? And he just runs a slant route underneath the coverage, right? And just outruns the defender.
And that's the thing about Christian Williams, and he showed it all season long, is he has the wheels to beat whoever's on defense. He is a fast kid. So the extra point attempt, it's on the way, it's up, and it is going to be good, and that's going to make your score 21-10. Wildcats lead, 11:07 left to go here in the third quarter. We'll be right back after this here at SouthArkansasNow.com.
Spice up your tailgate with locally raised farm fresh products at Davis Farms Country Market, like the new Code 3 and Davis Double D Farm Salsa, fresh from the field in locally grown Purple Hull peas, super sweet vine ripened cantaloupes, Arkansas-made meals that are easy on your wallet and your time. And nothing says fall has arrived like mums and pumpkins. There are plenty to choose from at Davis Farms Country Market, 4523 Junction City Highway, or call 870-639-1323.
And welcome back to Memorial Stadium, where we get ready for another equipment share kickoff after a quick score from the Wildcats. Only 53 seconds came off the clock with that drive. 11:07 left to go here in the third quarter.
Yeah, and once again, you see the second half, El Dorado just lights it up, right? They come out with a dive play, a little bit of motion, draw the safety's eyes, and
it's going to be a pooch kick fielded at about the 30-yard line by J.J. Johnson. They're going to catch him from behind and bring him.
J.J. Johnson on the return.
And they're going to mark him down at about the 37-yard line in Lake Hamilton territory.
So we talked about, the Cats extending some drives, and then they go 2 plays for 77 yards, right?
That's
so not doing the defense any favors, but still, you don't ever want to turn down points.
That's right. Yeah, they started out at the 20, an 80-yard drive with a 77-yard touchdown pass. Davenport's going to get back under center, 2 tailbacks in the backfield. We've seen this look all game long. It's going to be a handoff to J.J. Johnson. He's going to run off to his right side, he has a lead blocker, and he fumbles the ball. No, they're going to call the ball down. They're going to call the play dead before he dropped it. They're going to place him at about the 44-yard line in Lake Hamilton territory, set up a second and about 4 for the Wolves.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a different look. They pulled 2 of the guards on that play and ran more of a power concept to the right side. And, it obviously worked, but I thought there was a little bit of a hold there on the linebacker by one of the pulling guards, but no call.
All right, they're going to shift it up just a little bit before they snap the ball here. It's going to be handed off up the middle. He's going to find a hole. Finds a lane to run through. Tackle's going to be made by number 21, Marsavius Ishmael, and number 5, Bratavian Brown. That's going to be a first down for the Lake Hamilton Wolves here.
And another fullback dive.
You're right. And so that's going to place the ball at the Wildcat 46-yard line.
So that's what they do to break up the concept, right? Instead of running, they run that fullback dive to be unpredictable, right? And it's working. It continues to work. It continues to catch the Cats off guard.
Motion before the snap.
Different look.
J.J. Johnson's going to, and they're going to hand it off to Coy Autry, who's going to be tackled in the backfield by number 0, Spencer Poole. And that's going to set up a second and long for the Wolves.
That's the first time that we've seen a motion out to the left side of the field like that out of that formation. So that may be setting up a play down later in the half, right? They may be setting something off of that.
Wow, tell me you played defense without telling me you played defense, Alan. And this is going to be a big drive for Lake Hamilton to determine how well they can stay in this game. It's going to snap it. It's going to be handed off to zero, J.J. Johnson, who's going to go up to the left side.
Excellent pursuit.
And he's going to be tackled. Are they going to give him it looks like they are going to give him the first down. It looks like they're going to place him at about the 45-yard line. No, there's a flag on the play. I didn't see it there.
I didn't see a flag.
Yeah, flag.
Oh, I see it now. Okay.
Yeah, I see it now.
Holding, offense, number 8, 10-yard penalty for the spot foul.
And so they are going to call holding on number 8, Blaine Spears for Lake Hamilton. That is going to set up a second down and 20 for the Wolves.
Yeah, this is where El Dorado has got to get off the field. You've got to get off the field on defense here. You're facing an offense that likes to run the football. You've got to be disciplined here and get off the football field.
And you know Coach Hill doesn't want anybody jumping off sides on this drive here. They're going to reverse it to number 0, and he's going to be hit behind the line of scrimmage. Going to try and fight forward. They still have it, and they finally blow the play dead. And he maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, a gain of about 1 yard. Set up a 3rd and 19 for Lake Hamilton.
Once again, a little trickery, right? A little reverse. The Cats are playing disciplined defense. They stay home. They don't over-pursue. Right, a guy runs right into our defensive end.
That's right. And looks like we've got a little bit of a substitution here. Looks as if they're going to bring a skill player in for a tight end. And it's going to be a very similar look. He's going to fake the handoff, play action pass. He's going to launch it down the middle. Pass is caught, but the tackle is made by number 19 for the Wildcats, and that's going to set up a 4th and about 9 for the Wolves. Number 19, Jaquavion Hampton on the tackle there.
Yeah, on the plus side of the 50 here, they're going to keep the offense on the field.
Especially down by two possessions, and the way that this game has been rolling so far, 2 possessions is a high percentage of possessions.
Well, we've got a wide receiver down here at the bottom of the screen. This is probably in shotgun formation. This is going to be a pass play here. They're going to try and get some yardage here.
Twins down to the right,
stunting the defensive line,
and incomplete, slightly overthrown. And he's looking for a flag, but it was a very clean play by the Wildcat defense. That's going to be a turnover on downs and be a Glenn Mechanical first down for the Wildcats.
It's good coverage, but you'd like to see that defender a little bit closer there. I mean, that ball's thrown a yard shorter, and this is potentially a completion here. So you on 4th and long there, you'd like to see that defense a little bit less risky in that position. But great job by the Cats getting off the field.
And so Wildcats are going to take possession on offense here. Jacobs is going to be by himself in the gun.
Empty look.
Yeah, empty backfield. Trips up to the top of the screen. He's going to send J.J. Samuel in motion, fake the handoff. He's going to let it go to Justin Hammett. And it's going to be batted away by Lake Hamilton's number 25.
Yeah, that ball's got to be thrown further downfield. You got to give your receiver a chance. You can't slow the defense down.
So that ball was batted by number 25, Elut Asos. For the Lake Hamilton fans at home who are watching this, I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. I did the best I could. But that's going to be 2nd and 10 for the Wildcats. 7:12 left to go here in the 3rd quarter. And going to have twin receivers on either side of the line. Samuel in the backfield with Jacobs. He's going to send Christian Williams in motion. It's going to be a handoff. He's going to get around to the out. No, he's going to be tackled behind the line for a loss.
Excellent defense by the Lake Hamilton Wolves. I mean, you held the line, right? I mean, it's just excellent defense, right? You did not get to the perimeter of the field.
If I'm the Wildcats, I go 5 wide receivers here, empty backfield, and let Cannon have the option to run. Spread out that defense.
I think they're going to probably go to the top side of the field right here and give one of these wide receivers a chance.
Empty backfield. They send J.J. Samuel in motion. Jacobs has some time. He's going to let it go, and it's going to be an incomplete pass, almost intercepted.
It was
threw into triple coverage, and it looks like Christian Williams had gotten tripped up just a little bit. It's going to set up 4th and long, and the Wildcats punt team is going to come out. It's going to be a 3-and-out for the Wildcats there.
Yeah, it wasn't there, right? It wasn't there. It was a cover 3 formation, right? I mean, you're thrown into triple coverage essentially. That shot should have been taken. He should have pulled it and used his legs there. I mean, he's got the second best wheels on the team.
That's right, and I agree, but Hammond is going to be back for the punt. They're going to snap the ball. A good snap. He gets the punt off. It's flying high. Takes an El Dorado bounce and is just going to continue to roll. It's inside the 20-yard line all the way to about the 17. So Wildcats are going to take over on defense here. Lake Hamilton's going to take over on offense back deep in their own territory at the 17-yard line.
Yeah, if I'm Lake Hamilton right now and I get El Dorado back into a punt formation where they've got to punt the football, I'm putting that in my back pocket because this is the second time that El Dorado has shown punt formation with no tempo. Right, they've been very slow getting that punt off. There's potential on a special teams play there if Lake Hamilton sees it.
That's right, and we're going to get a very similar look to what we've gotten so far. It's going to be a handoff up the middle, and he's going to get right back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a gain of half of a yard. It's going to set up 2nd and long.
But remember how the first half started, right? The first half started 3-and-out by Lake Hamilton. El Dorado goes down the field and scores, and then the defense struggles for most of the first half after that. That 3-and-out from El Dorado just then is not conducive to this defense staying off the field.
That's right. 5:49 left to go here in the third quarter. Wildcats up 21-10. Davenport's going to get the snap. He's going to hand it off to J.J. Johnson, who's going to try and run right. He's going to try and spin, get brought down right at the line of scrimmage, and that's going to set up 3rd and long for the Wolves.
There's a lot of pads being hit right there. I mean, that's just physical football.
You're right. And again, we talk about physicality, and this Wildcat defense has it. Now, they might be a little tired, and it might be affected a little bit, but this Wildcat defense still has an elite level of physicality, and if they continue to hand or pass the ball then to just a few players, then it's not going to result well for the teams. And it looks like there's going to be a timeout called by Lake Hamilton. We're going to take a 30-second timeout here at SouthArkansasNow.com.
Non-stop phone calls, registered mail, repossessions, or threats of lawsuits from creditors, and it seems like no one is willing to let you hit pause and just catch your breath. You need the help of Robert Rushing and the Rushing Law Firm. Bankruptcy is not the end. It can be a chance for a fresh start. The Rushing Law Firm goes to work for you, letting you hit that pause button and start over. Call the Rushing Law Firm today at 870-875-2940 or stop by the office at 725 Northwest Avenue in El Dorado. The Rushing Law Firm.
Serving South Arkansas for 25 years, and all the while expanding and growing throughout the state, ProMed Ambulance is proving their motto of world-class care and hometown values. For example, their new mobile integrated healthcare communication center. This state-of-the-art facility allows communication specialists to work directly with local 911 call centers to ensure the closest medical team is always dispatched to any emergency. World-class care and hometown values. For more information and career opportunities, go to ProMedAmbulance.com.
And welcome back to Memorial Stadium. Wildcats up 21-10 over Lake Hamilton. Lake Hamilton has possession of the ball in their own territory at about the 16-yard line. 3rd down.
3 wide. This is their favorite shotgun formation for Lake Hamilton. They've got to get a first down here.
Wildcats using an amoeba defensive line. Get pressure on the quarterback. He finds an open receiver and is tackled out at about the 33-yard line. That's going to be enough for a first down for the Wolves.
It's just a simple dig route, right? They run a seam with the inside receiver, and then they run a wheel, and the dig with the middle receiver just comes right open because the seam route's pulling the safeties back.
And they're going to go back to the under center look. Davenport getting ready to snap the ball. He's going to hand it off to the fullback, going to go right up the middle. Coy Autry on the run there for about 6 yards for the Wolves.
Yeah, and this is where you've got to bow your neck. if you're the El Dorado defense, right? Because this is the exact spot you don't want to be in, right? Lake Hamilton extending drives. This is exactly how the first half started, right? Lake Hamilton continued to extend drives, keeping the defense on the field and wearing them down.
Ball's going to be snapped. It's going to be handed off to number 0, J.J. Johnson. He's in some trouble, and he's tackled not quite back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe going to be a loss of about half of a yard.
Tackle made by number 52, Maximus Wright.
And tackle was made by number 22, Maximus Wright.
Just gang tackling and pursuit, right? I mean, that's what the defense has got to do, is gang tackle and pursue the football.
So it's going to be third and a long medium here for the Wolves. We've seen them get explosive runs for 7 yards, and I think that's what they're going to go with again here.
Yep, they're flipping the formation.
Ball's going to be snapped. He's quarterback keeping. He's going to be brought down behind the line for a sack.
Nice play.
And it looks like it was
Sacked by number 30, Jervalen Jr.
Number 30, Jervalen Jr. in on the sack there for the Wildcats. Going to set up a long 4th down, and Lake Hamilton's going to send the punt team out. Great stop by the Wildcats there, a stop that they very much needed.
Had to have it.
And now the Wildcat offense is going to have to come out and get a long drive put together, give their defense a chance to rest. However, looking out at the defense right now, you don't really see a whole lot of hands on hips, so they're not showing that they're tired. A little motion before the snap on the punt here.
Yeah, I mean, if you're the Wildcat offense, you just got to go get points, right? You got to go get points now, right? Like this has got to be a 3-possession game.
And there's a flag for delay of game on the offense, and that's going to bring it back just a little bit. 5-yard penalty for Lake Hamilton. That's going to put the ball on the 26-yard line. Punter standing at the 12.
Cats play it, right? Potentially get the ball on the plus side of the 50 here to start the drive.
2 receivers back to field the punt for the Wildcats. Number 8, Cannon Jacobs, and number 19, Brockton Brown. And it's going to take a high hop, Lake Hamilton roll, and it's going to get all the way down to the 34-yard line before it finally comes to a stop. Wildcats are going to take over on offense here. 2 minutes and 1 second left to go in the third quarter. Wildcats up 21-10 over the Lake Hamilton Wolves.
Yeah, the best thing to do right here, the best thing that you can do as an offense is just go get some points now. I mean, it's at this point you create the 3-possession gap. It's with this defense that El Dorado has, it's going to be very difficult to overcome that if you're Lake Hamilton.
Jacobs in the gun. He hands it off to J.J. Samuel, spins out of a tackle, sheds another, and brought down just shy of the 40-yard line. They're going to place the ball at the 39 in Wildcat territory. It's going to set up a 2nd and about 4.
So what Coach Hill did there was he brought the H-back in and offset him right behind the tackle to create that extra blocker. Same formation here to create that extra blocker for his running back.
Wildcats lined up heavy to the left. They're going to pull Jacobs to the right. He's going to run up the middle and get all the way to about the 45, 46-yard line. That's going to be enough for a Glenn Mechanical first down for the Wildcats.
And this is what you want if you're the Cats, right? Run the football, ground and pound, extend the drives, give your defense a little bit of a break, and then go get some points.
Going to see a very similar look from the Wildcats here. Going to send Christian Williams in motion. Jacobs is going to keep it here. He's going to try and run to the outside, get caught in the backfield, tackled at about the 40-yard line. That's a 5-yard loss for the Wildcats, setting up a 2nd and 15. 59 seconds left to go here in the third quarter.
Yeah, it's a tough hit. I hate to see your quarterback take hits like that, because that was a big defensive lineman for Lake Hamilton that came crashing down. So,
and if I'm the Wildcats here, do you air it out or do you just try and pick up 6-7 yards?
You get the ball out to the perimeter and let your playmakers, who have already shown in this half that they can make plays.
And a dropped pass by the Wildcats.
I'm not so sure that wasn't the same exact play that they scored the touchdown on in the first possession of the second half.
I think you're right, and I don't think the pass was thrown to Christian Williams, number 4. He turned around. I don't think he was quite ready for the ball to be there at his hands when he turned around, but it doesn't reel in the catch. Sets up a 3rd and 15 for the Wildcats. They're going to need a big play here if they want to keep their offense out on the field. Twin receivers on both sides of the line. Jacobs snaps the ball. Samuel's going to run up to the right side. Jacobs is going to try and find Samuel, and there's going to be 2 flags on the play. There's going to be 2 flags on the play, one down by the line of scrimmage and one down where J.J. Samuel almost caught the ball.
On the sideline, it's most definitely going to be a pass interference call. I think that's what we're going to see there. What I'm curious about is the one in the backfield.
It will be interesting.
There are 2 fouls on the play. They'll offset. Pass interference, defense,
and
holding, offense. Those fouls offset. Replay 3rd down.
So it's going to be a replay of 3rd down with offsetting penalties, pass interference, and holding. And go ahead.
In that formation, that play, they ran the wheel with their halfback again, right, and post routes down the center. So they've seen something there, but that time they give it to the running back.
Jacob snaps the ball. He's going to check the screen. He sees Justin Hammett open downfield, and it's broken up by Lake Hamilton defense. 4th and 15 for the Wildcats.
Number 25 on the defense for Lake Hamilton has been sturdy the entire game. He has been, that's his 2nd or 3rd pass deflection that he's had tonight.
I believe that's his 3rd, and 2 of those were to Justin Hammett, who before the game we said was the man to throw to in traffic because he comes down with the football. But Hammett's going to get into the backfield, prepare for a punt here. Wildcats punting from the 40. Hammett's at the 25-yard line in his own territory. Hammett's going to punt. It's going to go sky high. Called for a fair catch and caught right at the 30-yard line by Lake Hamilton. 17 seconds left to go here in the 3rd quarter as Lake Hamilton gets ready to take over on offense again.
So if you're Lake Hamilton, you got to feel really good about where you're at right now. That you've given up 1 touchdown in the second half, right? And then you've gotten some defensive stops.
If you're the Lake Hamilton defensive coordinator, you're really happy with where you're at in this game so far, especially when the Wildcats average over 40 points a game.
Yes. Yeah, how many yards did they have against Sheridan last week? Over 500?
A little over 500. Ball's going to be snapped to Davenport. He's going to toss it to J.J. Johnson in the backfield, who's going to run to his right, get a solid chunk of yardage, be just shy of the 1st down. It's going to set up a 2nd and 1 for the Lake Hamilton Wolves.
And these plays for Lake Hamilton are just wearing down this defense, stretching the field, getting these guys running.
Don't see a whole lot of defensive players with their hands on their hips, though. They're showing that they have resiliency and endurance. Wildcats showing a heavy blitz here. They're going to send J.J. Johnson in motion up to the top of the field. It's going to be handed off, and a fullback dive up to the left side is going to be enough for a 1st down for the Lake Hamilton Wolves.
They are setting up a shot play with that formation. They are moving that receiver out to see if that safety goes with him. And at some point, that safety is not going to go with him, and they're going to take a shot.
And that's going to take us into the 4th quarter. We're going to be right back after this at SouthArkansasNow.com.
Homes are typically heated or cooled 24/7, 365, using nearly half of all home energy. That new stainless steel refrigerator may look cool, but upgrading to the quietest and most efficient HVAC system can have much greater rewards. Choose a system with a Wi-Fi-enabled thermostat, so the most important appliance in the house is also the smartest, allowing you to set the perfect comfort level from anywhere. Presented by Lennox. Learn what perfect feels like at Lennox.com.
Locks for our doors, cameras around our homes, alarms for our vehicles. Yet we go online with little to no protection whatsoever. You are 14 times more likely to have your identity stolen than your home burglarized. And if you work from home or have any business over the internet, the chances are even greater. EDP Solutions offers both full and co-managed security services, vulnerability assessments, and 24/7 monitoring. And this isn't some company on another continent. These are our neighbors who take seriously the responsibility of keeping you and your family safe online. EDP Solutions, delivering technology and office solutions with value and commitment.
And welcome back to Memorial Stadium. Your Wildcats up 21-10, start this 4th quarter. Lake Hamilton has the ball on their own 43-yard line.
So if you're Lake Hamilton right here, everything's fourth down territory.
That's right.
You're down 2 possessions, start of the fourth quarter, and if you're the Cats defense, you've got to know that, right? You're playing against a 4-down team now.
And Davenport's going to hand it off to number 0, J.J. Johnson. Ja'Cory Lumsey's going to get stiff. No, just kidding. Not Ja'Cory Lumsey's going to make the tackle. Looks like it was number 5, Ratavion Brown, who took the stiff arm.
Good pursuit. It looked like that hole was opening up, and Cats just kept coming and filling that hole back up, and stop them for a yard.
Only a 1-yard gain there. It set up 2nd and 9 with 11:40 left to go in the fourth quarter. Wildcats did a really good job of covering up every hole that opened up there for J.J. Jones on the Lake Hamilton offense, and now it's coming to a 2nd and 9. Ball still in their own territory.
Formation.
Going to send 0, J.J. Johnson into motion. Davenport's going to hand it off to Coy Autry, who's going to go up the middle. He's got a lot of room. Ja'Cory Lumsey's going to get him to slow down. Going to get him right shy of the 20-yard line at about the 22. Huge gain for Lake Hamilton there, and 35 yards. A 35-yard
injury on the field. Looks like
number 1 Cole Autry is going to get up and try and limp off the field. That is the fullback that just had the 30-plus yard run. Cole Autry has had himself a heck of a game, and he's going to go back down to the field, and he's going to get helped off the field by some of his teammates and his head coach.
Yeah, he's in a lot of pain. Looks like he rolled his ankle, got rolled up on or something on that last play.
And glad to see him walking off of the field. Never want to see a player have to come off the field with help of somebody else, and he's doing it on his own accord, limping off the field.
And what did we talk about at halftime, right? The defense.
That's right.
Defense getting off the field, defense getting wear down in the fourth quarter. That's the first true big play that Lake Hamilton has broken off in their running game this game, and it comes at the first play of the fourth quarter, right?
That's right. And so now without Autry able to be in the backfield, they're going to go with a single back formation. Davenport's going to snap the ball. Johnson's in motion, and he hands it off to Johnson. And
a flag is in. They're going to call a horse collar.
They're going to call a horse collar there. To me, it looked like he grabbed him by his sleeve, and it brought him down, but
the sideline judge didn't call the flag. It came from the end zone judge.
And it might go against Lake Hamilton.
Okay.
Because that's a horse collar wouldn't have been the call for that referee to make.
Is he saying holding?
First and foul. Horse collar.
Yep.
In the defense.
Okay, they are going to call it a horse collar.
And again, it was the judge in the end zone that threw the flag, not the one that was right there at the play. So that's an interesting call, but it did look very. It looked like a tough play.
It definitely did have that look. Can't say for sure, and regardless, it's going to be on about the 10-yard line in Wildcat territory. Lake Hamilton looking to score here.
A little bit of undisciplined football on these last two plays for the Cats. They've got to lock in here.
Davenport's going to snap it. He's going to hand it again to J.J. Johnson, who's going to try and find the outside. Justin Hammond in pursuit, and he steps out of bounds at about the 2-yard line. That's going to set up a 2nd down and goal from the 2 for Lake Hamilton. 10:25 left to go in the fourth quarter. And there's a flag down on the play, down back close to the line of scrimmage. Looks like it could be a hold.
Still no call.
Holding.
There it is.
And it is going to be a holding on the offense.
10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul.
10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul, so that's going to place the ball at the 19-yard line. Wow.
Yeah, and this offense the offense for Lake Hamilton is not made to really necessarily get chunk plays, right? They're made to grind you and wear you down. So being this far off, they're probably going to throw the football at some point in this drive.
1st and goal from the 19. Wildcats showing a blitz here. Going to snap. He's going to hand it off to number 10, who's going to be tackled behind the line for a loss there. That was number 10, Braxton Schmidt, on the carry. And that's going to put them back down on the 20-yard line, a loss of about a yard. And it's 2nd and goal from the 20 for Lake Hamilton here.
They're going to stay in the same personnel package. I thought they may go shotgun here and maybe go in that 3 wide formation, given that it's 2nd down on the 20. But they're going to stay in their running formation. But if you're the Cats, right, you got to be thinking play action pass.
This
would be the down for play action pass because it's too obvious on 3rd down here.
Number 0, J.J. Johnson, lined up just behind the line at the top of the screen.
Yeah, see, they've got some confusion.
And it's going to be a delay of game called on Lake Hamilton here. It's going to be another 5-yard penalty. Oh, they're going to take a timeout.
That's a big timeout for Lake Hamilton. I mean,
it is.
You've got one timeout left in the half.
Yeah, one timeout left. We're going to take a break here at South Arkansas now.
For nearly 50 years, South Arkansas floors have been covered by El Dorado Custom Carpets. And not just carpets, but true hardwood, laminate, stone, porcelain, ceramic, marble, and more. And guess what? It doesn't end with just floors. El Dorado Custom Carpets carries a tremendous selection of backsplash, wall tile, and area rugs. The truth of the matter is, one commercial can't come close to telling you everything you can find at El Dorado Custom Carpets, 1601 East Main Street in El Dorado. Call 870-862-4945.
Need equipment for your next job? Don't settle for the traditional rental experience.
The rental experience with Equipment Share is a great experience. We rent everything from dozers to skid loaders, mini excavators, even smaller hand tools. They've always got what we need. They're timely. The billing is quick and accurate. The guys are able to set it up. They do it through their phone. I love Equipment Share. Renting with Equipment Share is not like any other company out there. It's 1,000 times better.
And welcome back to Memorial Stadium, where your Wildcats are up 21-10 with 9:34 left to go in the 4th quarter. Lake Hamilton has possession of the ball. It's 2nd down and goal from the 20-yard line.
Same personnel package.
And
pass play.
Going to be some pressure on the quarterback. Doesn't see the sack coming. Huge hit from the Wildcat defense there. And that's number 45 for the Wildcats in on the sack. Winston Williams there on the sack. Huge tackle for a loss there. You're going to put the ball on the 25-yard line. That's going to make it 3rd and goal from the 25 for Lake Hamilton.
Yeah, held on to the ball for too long, right? You've got to get that ball. With this defensive line that the Cats have, you can't hold on to the football that long. You've got to get the ball out.
And the thing is Davenport didn't even see Winston Williams coming and just took a hard hit. Glad that he was able to hold on to the football.
So new personnel group 3 wide at the top of the screen.
Lined up in the shotgun. He's going to step back in the pocket. They're going to blow the play dead.
Yep.
And it looks like they're going to call false start on Lake Hamilton here. That's going to be another 5 yards and make it 3rd and goal from the 30-yard line.
But what they were trying to do there is get everybody's eyes to the top of the screen, right to the right side of the field, where all 3 wide receivers, and they motion a back out, but then they release to the left side and run a little screen pass right here, right? So again, Lake Hamilton's all about misdirection. They want you to look this way so that they can sneak around this way, and it works. Now, for the Cats, great defensive stand right here, right? You've got to close the gap here, and you've got to get off the field. But so far, they've really locked in, right? Because at one point they were down close to the 10-yard line.
In the shotgun, he's going to snap it, fake the handoff. He's going to step back deep into the pocket. He's got some pressure in and out of the hands of number 0. J.J. Johnson for Lake Hamilton. That's going to make it 4th and goal from the 30-yard line for Lake Hamilton here.
And again, some relentless pursuit, right? Relentless pursuit. Had he not gotten rid of that football, he was going down.
And so here comes the special teams unit.
You'd like to see Coach Johnson's defensive line right here pull a couple of stunts and really create pressure in the backfield. But they're going to kick the field goal.
And so it's going to be a 47-yard field goal for
Coach Hill's going to make him think about it.
And it's going to be a timeout for the Wildcats. 8:39 left to go in the fourth quarter. Wildcats up 21-10. We'll be right back after this.
Every gift tells a story, and at Especially For You, they help you make it unforgettable. Birthdays, wedding showers, baby showers, graduations, or just because. Especially For You creates one-of-a-kind gifts made to touch the heart. Anyone can buy a gift card, but the best gifts aren't bought. They're made at Especially For You. Stop by and visit Especially For You and find the perfect gift for life's special moments.
My name is Taylor Gear, and I'm the senior pastor. Maybe you live in our area and you don't have a church home. We'd love nothing more than to see you in this room on a Sunday morning. We're here every week at 10:15. We'd be so encouraged to have you with us anytime. We'd also love to pray for you in any way. If you have a need for prayer, let our staff pray for you. You can email us at prayer@fbceldorado.org. We'd be honored to get to do that. Again, I want to thank you so much for joining us, and we hope to see you soon.
Back to Memorial Stadium. While we were gone at that break, Lake Hamilton kicked and missed the 47-yard field goal. It was shy by about 1.5 yards. Just barely didn't make it. So now Wildcats are going to get possession of the ball on their own 20-yard line.
Yeah, big stop for the Cats defense. Big stop for the Cats defense. Now, if you're the offense, you got to control the clock. You got to control the clock and get and extend the drive.
Two-possession game. Wildcats take possession here. 8:34 left in the fourth quarter. They send Williams into motion. They hand it off to J.J. Samuel, who runs up the middle, and he is going to take off.
Hole.
And
what
can anybody catch him? And he's going to be brought down at about the 19-20-yard line. And that is a 50-yard run by J.J. Samuel to open up the 60-yard run by J.J. Samuel to open up the drive. And now Wildcats are deep into Lake Hamilton territory.
That's what we've been waiting for all game, right? That one big boom play that everything opens up, right? Motion draws the linebacker over. Hole opens up right in the center of the offensive line.
Going to hand it off to J.J. Samuel, who's going to take up off the left side, try and shed a tackle, get tripped up just past the line of scrimmage. It's going to be a gain of about 1 yard for the Wildcats, setting up 2nd and 9. 7:39 left to go here in the fourth quarter.
If you're the Cats here, if you're the coaching staff for the Cats, you're preaching ball security here, right? You cannot have a turnover at this point in the football game.
And for our LSB trivia question, who was the team that the Wildcats beat for the state championship back in 2009?
He almost got that one loose too. We're starting to feel this El Dorado running game control this football game now.
And that's going to put the ball down to the 10-yard line. It's going to make it a Glenn Mechanical first down for the Wildcats. First and goal. 7:07 left to go here in the fourth quarter. Wildcats up 21-10. Jacobs in the gun. Twin receivers off. Christian Williams in motion. He's going to hand it off to Jalen Dunn, who's going to run up the middle, fall forward to about the 2 or 3 yard line. And a little extracurricular shoving going on. No flags come out, though. And that was a huge play for the Wildcats.
We talked about this rivalry.
And Twins down to the right. Single receiver up to the top of your screen. Dunn with the run. No, Jacobs with the run. He's going to run across the goal line into the end zone. Late hit by Lake Hamilton Wolves, but that doesn't negate a touchdown for the Wildcats. That's a Murphy Arts District touchdown for El Dorado. For more information, go to eldomad.com. That's going to make it
just a zone read.
20-10, or excuse me, that's going to make it 27-10 for the Wildcats, barring an extra point attempt here.
And we talked about the running game for the Cats being critical for them to capitalize on in this game, and once again.
And the PAT is good. 6:26 left to go here in the fourth quarter. Wildcats up 28-10, and a whole bunch of flags come out. And we're going to go ahead and take a break. We'll be right back after this.
For over 6 decades, Glenn Mechanical has been specializing in HVAC, plumbing, and all mechanical jobs. 3 generations, family owned and operated since 1956. Glenn Mechanical's business is based on relationships. They support and give back to the communities they work in. Contact them for all of your HVAC, plumbing, and mechanical needs. GlennMechanical.com.
When it comes to your family's financial future, peace of mind matters. At Harrison Financial Management, they are right here to help you plan, grow, and protect what matters most. Whether you're planning for retirement, investing wisely, or securing your family's future, they will guide you every step of the way. Harrison Financial Management, your future, their commitment.
And welcome back to Memorial Stadium. Wildcats up 28-10, 6:26 left to go in the fourth quarter here. At the conclusion of the PAT attempt, there were some extracurricular flags thrown in. It was actually an unsportsmanlike conduct on number 62 for Lake Hamilton, resulting in an ejection. And so he will not be in the rest of this game.
Yeah, you can't do that, right? You can't do that. You can't let your emotions get the better of you in a situation like this. I mean, you know, probably his last football game that he's going to play in high school, you know, but you can't leave it like that, right? Difficult situation. I feel for the kid in the situation that he's in, right? 3 touchdown lead, 3 possession lead at this point, 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter. But you can't go out and do those things.
Right. So this is going to be an equipment share kickoff from the Lake Hamilton 45-yard line, likely to go out the back. It is up, and it is into the end zone. It is going to be a touchback, and that means that Lake Hamilton will take possession on the 20-yard line.
So if you're Coach Hill right here, you are preaching to your defense, stay in control of your emotions here. Because Lake Hamilton guy gets ejected, right? There's a high chance that he's not playing next week anyway, whereas El Dorado football team is going to be playing next week, right?
That's right.
You've got to control your emotions if you're the Cats right here.
And a not very common look for the Wildcats with Hammett in at safety. He does play safety a good bit for the Wildcats. Trip receivers, it's going to be a handoff to J.J. Johnson, and tackled for a loss at the 19-yard line.
Fantastic play.
That's going to set up a second and about 15, 16.
Defensive end for the Cats gets upfield. Shoestring tackle, but it's a loss of 4, loss of 5 for Lake Hamilton to start the drive.
And actually, that is 4 plays for a loss in a row for Lake Hamilton, and they're going to have trips receivers up to the top again. Davenport going to step back in the pocket. He's just going to let go of it, overthrows his wide receiver, and there's going to be a flag for a late hit there on number 5, Bertavian Brown, and
yeah, and again, if you're the Cats, you've got to control your emotions here. You cannot let this game get the better of you right now because you've got another game you've got to play.
And so they're going to march it off here, starting from the 19-yard line.
After play, personal foul, defense, number 5, 15-yard penalty for your
And after 15 yards, that's going to make it a third and really short here for Lake Hamilton.
3rd and 1 for Lake Hamilton on the ball, the 29-yard line.
Trips receivers again, Davenport under center.
This is a QB sneak right up the middle.
Good call, Allen. That's exactly what it is. They're going to give him enough for a first down, and they're going to place the ball at about the 32-yard line. Excuse me, the 33-yard line. And it looks like one of the referees is giving a talking to the defensive line for the Wildcats.
It's getting chippy. It is getting chippy. This rivalry runs deep
Ooh, could have been a false start call there, but they don't. Davenport's going to get out wide, throw it away, and it's going to be a flag on the play. It's going to be a hold on number 63 from Lake Hamilton.
The pass rush for the El Dorado defense is why this defense is so good. But in this game, you haven't been able to see them very much, right? You haven't been able to see them get after the quarterback. But a few times, right? But when they have, it's been very bad for the Lake Hamilton Wolves. Once again, another bad play for Lake Hamilton.
A 10-yard penalty is going to set up a 1st and 20 for them with 5:18 left to go here in the fourth quarter. Lake Hamilton's going to have to get something going here quick, fast, and in a hurry if they want to stand a chance at winning this ball game.
Look at this defensive line here for the Cats.
And amoeba defense from the Wildcats, and they're going to call it dead. False start is going to be called on Lake Hamilton here, and that's going to be another 5-yard penalty.
And you hate to see this because Lake Hamilton has played such a fundamentally good football game to this point, but in the fourth quarter, they have just fallen apart on offense with their discipline. And the Cats have really stepped up on defense and created a lot of stops.
Well, you know, we talk about how tired the defense can get, and these offensive linemen can get tired. And Davenport's going to hold on to the ball. He's going to let go of it. Pass is complete, and
another flag on the play.
Another flag on the play. Tackle made at the 30-yard line, still shy of the original line of scrimmage for this set of downs.
This is going to push him back again. I wonder if you're Coach Hill right here, if you don't decline this penalty, with them being, you know, was it 1st and 22?
Something like, yeah, 1st and 25.
1st and 25. So I'm wondering if you're Coach Hill, if you don't decline this penalty here, because you still have him. It looks like he's going to accept it there.
I was going to say, you know, if I'm Coach Hill, I'm still accepting it. I'm pushing him back to 1st and 30. I mean,
leave no doubt.
Offensive pass interference, number 4. No penalties half the distance to the goal.
Yeah, so you definitely accept that one.
Okay, so pass interference is accepted. It's half the distance to the goal line since they were already inside the 30.
Yeah.
That's going to place the ball at the 14-yard line, and then the second penalty on that play there was an ineligible receiver downfield. They had a lineman get downfield, and that penalty was declined.
It'll be the 9-yard line. They're down at the 9-yard line.
Yeah, you know, you're right. Ball is
inside
at the 9-yard line. Excuse me. So inside the 10, 1st and 34. Yeah, if I was Coach Hill, I was accepting that one.
Yes, 100%. I agree. I agree with accepting that call.
Trips receivers up to the top of your screen here. Davenport's
Coach
in the
Johnson
shotgun.
has his defensive line just bouncing around now. These guys are excited.
And there's pressure. He's going to try and take off. Looks behind him and gets out of bounds at about the 12-yard line. And that's going to set up a 2nd and forever for Lake Hamilton. 5:03 left to go here in the fourth quarter. Cats up 28-10.
The thing about Lake Hamilton now is I don't believe Lake Hamilton has the athletes to get behind the defense at this point, right? When the defense knows that they're trying to throw the football.
And it's going to be a handoff. They're going to run off to their left side, and it's going to be a huge tackle made by number 30, Jervalen Jr. in on the tackle. That's going to set up a 3rd and long for the Lake Hamilton Wolves from the 15-yard line.
So look who the Cats have in at safety now.
They've got Cannon Jacobs, Justin Hammett, and Jaquavian Hampton in at safety. They've got a prevent defense going on. Quarterback's going to scramble out to his right, find an underneath man who's not able to reel it in. Incomplete pass. It's going to set up 4th and 28 from the 14-yard line. Lake Hamilton going to send the punt team out here. 4:21 left to go in the fourth quarter.
It just didn't make a lot of sense what they were trying. They ran a flood concept, but the tight end ran an in route, and nobody was close to the line of scrimmage.
It definitely puzzles me. But the good thing is I don't get paid to coach football. All I do is call these games. Punt is away. It's going to be an ugly, ugly punt. Wildcats are going to hop out of the way. It's going to take a really good roll for Lake Hamilton, go all the way down to the Wildcat 47-yard line. And so Wildcats are going to take over possession on offense here from their own, looks like 46-yard line.
And again, it's chippy, right? It's chippy. These guys are all just in each other's face. It's this, again, the passion for this rivalry runs so deep. And if you're the Cats, you've got to keep your composure here, close this game out, and get to the house without anybody missing next week.
That's right. That's right. Cats up with a 3-possession lead, 28-10. 4:09 left. Jacobs is in the shotgun. Twin receivers to both sides of the line of scrimmage. Innocent Christian Williams in motion. Handoff to J.J. Samuel, who's going to go up the middle. He's going to shed several tackles. He sheds another. He sheds another tackle before he's finally tripped up at the 39-yard line for Lake Hamilton. That's going to be enough for a Glenn Mechanical first down.
Just another dive play that they see that defensive line is not able to contain this running game.
And the Wildcats just showing their dominance and being able to run the football against any defense here. And that's going to leave 3:40 on the clock. Clock is rolling here in the fourth quarter. And Wildcats are just going to look to run clock out. I bet we see primarily runs from here on out. Jacobs in the shotgun. Samuel back there with him. 3 seconds left on the clock before they snap it. Samuel up the middle. He's going to have a guy draped across his waist who had to have help before J.J. Samuel finally went down just shy of the 30-yard line, let's say the 31, and 32. That's going to set up a second down and about 3. 3 minutes left to go in the game. 19 seconds on the play clock.
Yeah, you just lean into the running game here. You let these guys you let these running backs take it home.
Jacobs in the shotgun. He's going to wait for the clock to get down. He snaps the ball, hands it to, that doesn't look like JJ. Did I miss a substitution? Oh, and that's Jeremiah Warner in on the run there. He's stopped right at the line of scrimmage. It's going to set up a 3rd and 2 for the Wildcats. Ball on the 31-yard line of Lake Hamilton territory.
Yeah, and they're content with letting this clock run down at this point. There's no reason for them to get in a hurry here.
And the clock is going to fall below 2 minutes before the ball is even snapped. They're going to send Williams into motion. They're going to hand it off to him. Oh, and great blocking by the Wildcats. And I don't think that was Christian. That was Rozier on the carry. And that was enough for a Glenn Mechanical first down for the Wildcats. 1:50 on the clock here. And Wildcats are pretty much ready to take this W home tonight.
Yeah, just a good play call there, right? Like the defense is keying in on those dive plays. You essentially run a sweep play there and stretch the defense out again.
Jacobs in the shotgun. Twin receivers on either side of the field. You're going to send Christian Williams into motion this time, but it's going to be handed off to Jalen Dunn, who's going to run up the middle, get a solid chunk of yardage there. Oh, looks like they're going to give him about 3 yards on the run, set up a 2nd and 7. 1 minute and 11 seconds left on the clock here in the game.
With how aggressive Coach Hill is, I don't know if Coach Hill has a victory formation, but this is the time where I would be in the victory formation.
2nd down and 6. It looks like a victory formation to me. And so your Wildcats are going to win this game 28-10 over the Lake Hamilton Wolves. A long-standing rivalry between these two teams, and Wildcats are going to emerge victorious tonight.
Yeah, you've got to snap the ball, step away.
And it's going to be kneeled by Jacobs. 36 seconds left on the clock. And that is going to be the last play of the game. Your Wildcats win 28-10 over the Lake Hamilton Wolves. And we'll be moving on to the second round of the playoffs to face Shiloh Christian in Springdale, Arkansas next week. And we're going to take a quick break and be back with our Dyson Service Company postgame show right after this at SouthArkansasNow.com.
PCI has been shaping the future of manufacturing for over 40 years, and they're doing it right here in El Dorado, Arkansas. PCI is one of America's leading producers of polyethylene containers, known for quality, innovation, and teamwork. Join a fast-paced, rewarding career where your work keeps the world moving. And because PCI is a veteran-owned company, they value things like dedication, diversity, and drive. Are you ready to take your career to the next level? Apply today at polypails.com/careers.
Derek Henry.
Hey, Jake from State Farm. I saved so much bundling, it inspired my workout. Auto! Home!
Okay, and this is Auto again, right?
Auto!
Hey, this is my living room.
Home!
Bundling, just another way to save with the personal price plan.
The dog isn't allowed on the couch, Derek.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
At Carl Malone Power Sports El Dorado, we've got the biggest selection of ATVs, UTVs, and motorcycles ready to ride today. Take advantage of special financing, unbeatable trade-in values, and service you can trust to keep you on the trails. Whether it's work, play, or pure adrenaline, we've got the machine to fit your lifestyle. Carl Malone Power Sports El Dorado, where selection, savings, and service all deliver. Come see us today.
Whether it's protecting families from the predators in nature, to helping food taste better and last longer naturally, or just making sure the local ball field is at its best, Lanxess is involved in our everyday lives. With more than 450 employees locally and more than $32 million in payroll each year, Lanxess is doing their part to be a good neighbor and leader in South Arkansas. With that in mind, remember to call before you dig. Know what's below. In Arkansas, it's the law and it's a free service. Call 811 before you dig. This brought to you by Lanxess.
Located on 1,400 acres amidst Union County's scenic timberlands, LSB Industries' largest manufacturing facility and its employees have been a part of the El Dorado community for more than 40 years. Working together as one team, we are proud to call El Dorado home.
Give you more to ring in Arkansas, make some noise right now. You got
What an amazing place they've built right here in your town.
And welcome back to Memorial Stadium, where your Wildcats emerged victorious over the Lake Hamilton Wolves 28-10 in a playoff rivalry game. And we actually do have a Wildcat on their way up to the press box right now for a post-game interview with us. And he's actually on his way up now. But before he gets here, Alan, just kind of give me your breakdown of the game and everything that you were excited to see from the Wildcats there.
Yeah, I mean, second half, it was exciting to see this defense really kind of hone in and I guess perfect the craft in the second half, right? I mean, they got worn down, they got smoked in the first half, right? And you could physically see them getting worn down. Second half, they come in, they get some huge stops, they get some big sacks. I mean, they turn the defense around, right?
That's right. And so we actually have Maximus Wright, who is about to join us in the press box. Let's see. Go ahead. Come on in, man. Come on in. Let's see. Just squeeze right here in the middle, and then I've got this headset here for you. There you go. You just put it on however it fits.
I'm hoping this go better than the last one.
Hope this goes better than the last one. All right, man. Maximus, you had some pretty big tackles. You really helped disrupt the Lake Hamilton offense in times where you guys needed a stop or you guys needed to make a disruption. Tell me what it was like this week, just with the energy in practice.
We try to go hard during practice the best we can so we can be prepared for out there and make some plays.
That's right. And you did exactly that, Maximus. Does everybody call you Maximus,
they
Maximilian?
It's like a little bit of everything.
Just a little bit of everything.
Yes,
Max
sir.
Aruni. Yeah. And so, Max, now you guys were out on defense for a long time tonight. You guys didn't have nearly the possession time on offense that Lake Hamilton did. So, how did you guys keep your energy up and keep making those big plays on defense?
Just by like during practice, we stay prepared. I run after practice, try to stay up and stay energized for these moments.
And I know that Coach Hill really focuses on conditioning. After just some conversations I've had with him, I know that he's a really big proponent of especially late game conditioning. So, what is it like running the 2-minute drill for Coach Hill on defense all the time?
It's amazing because we can continue being better and keep on grinding and try to make it to the championship.
That's right, and that's exactly what we want to see the Wildcats do this season. And so next week, you guys are going to go up to Springdale, Arkansas, and face off against Shiloh Christian, a team that has played really well on the other side of the conference all year. What is going to be the main key that you guys have looked at as far as bringing home a win for that game?
We try our best to say it doesn't matter who we face, we're going to still dominate and overpower the other opponent we face. So it doesn't matter who we face, we're going to try our best to beat them no matter what.
And now, what is your official position on the Wildcat defense?
What do you mean?
Like, I know my roster's right here, but are you the
nose?
No,
I could three.
That's what I was thinking.
It just depends on the game, depending on how we try and style the game.
Inside D tackles.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Inside D tackles. We love to see them. And now, usually we see number 99, Gavin Brooks, in that position. And so you've kind of had to step up into a more important role for this defense. What has that been like for you? And what does it mean to bring home a playoff win stepping into that position?
It's amazing. Everything's amazing. Trying to step up. I've been trying to step up the whole time. Be the best you can be, and it's amazing to bring back bring back a second, going to a second win, and we ready for next week, and we ready to see how it goes, which is a win.
And I noticed there, especially towards the end of the game, it got really chippy between both sides of the football. What was Coach emphasizing to you guys about keeping your heads at level?
Stay quiet and show how we feel through our game, through our power, through everything. Show it on the field. Don't show it with your mouth.
I love it. And Alan, you're a former defensive lineman. What questions do you have for our man Max right here?
I mean, talk to us about the physicality. I mean, talk to us about how physical the game was.
It was more physical than we thought, but it doesn't matter. We stepped up. At first, I felt like we didn't do our full at the start, but we started getting used to the game because we ain't used to wing T offense all the time. So we just had to adapt.
Yeah,
it's rare to see that type of offense run in today's high school football. You most of the time see spread offenses that spread the field on you, and to come into a wing T formation, you guys obviously had to spend a lot of time practicing that this week. How was that?
It was amazing because we got to learn something new, and we got to get used to it as best as we could through practice, and we had to get used to it the rest of the game.
What did the offensive guys think running a wing T formation against you guys?
They loved it because we got caught off guard for the first second, and then best believe it was some butting heads at practice.
Yeah, I can imagine tensions were high running a new formation like that, and the offense thinks they're big and bad, but the defense eventually got right.
Yes, sir.
And Max, one last question for you. This has been one of the most physical defenses that I've ever seen come out of El Dorado. What has Coach Hill, Coach Abels, Coach Johnson done to elevate the level of physicality for this Wildcat defense?
To demonstrate that, I would like to say that I was really an offensive lineman at first, and then I transferred to El Dorado, and now I turned into defense, and I wasn't as good as defense as offense, but I adapted and I got better at it, and that's the reason I'm up here right now, because they coach so well and they just
All right. Yeah. I love to hear it. Well, Max, we are so glad that you guys got the win tonight. We're going to be there in Springdale with you guys covering the game next Friday. I'm looking forward to it. I hope that the weather cooperates. And thank you so much for coming up here, walking all the way up these wind-taking stairs after playing an entire football game. We appreciate you. And we'll be right back after this at southarkansasnow.com.
Rated the #1 course in Arkansas by Golf Week, Mystic Creek is truly a hidden gem, complemented by a modern clubhouse, complete with panoramic views. It also features a fully stocked pro shop and Mystic Grill serving contemporary American cuisine and Southern classics. Mystic Creek promises an unforgettable experience.
Bad things happen, and of course, they never happen at the right time. Maybe it's just a little bump and cosmetic damage, or it's turned into a huge insurance claim, and you just don't know where to go next. That's why so many of your neighbors and friends call on Cook's Body Shop in El Dorado. From the minor to the major, Cook's Body Shop is in your corner. Need someone to help you deal with insurance? Look to Cook's. Need advice on what to do next? Look to Cook's. Need a free estimate? Look to Cook's. Bad things are going to happen, and when they do, look to Cook's.
More product than ever in the store history. That's what's happening at Union Kennel and Farm Supply. A huge sale is going on right now, including 50-pound bags of deer corn, only $6.50 per bag. 50-pound bags of rice bran, marked $1 off. No one, absolutely no one, has a better selection of small animals, birds, reptiles, saltwater and freshwater fish than Union Kennel and Farm Supply. 1100 West Hillsboro in El Dorado. Or call 870-864-9229.
You're tough, determined to take challenges head on. But when cancer strikes, you'll need more than strength. You'll need the right care. We provide the tools you need to fight and the compassionate care you need to keep going. Every step of the way. Kartai. We're with you.
Hitting a buck to hang on the wall rarely happens by accident. It starts with preparation, takes some skill, and often even a little luck. Country Village Sporting Goods is your headquarters for all three. Right now, check out a brand new shipment of feeders, so new that they're still pulling them out of the boxes. A huge selection of lacrosse boots and plenty of warm weather camo for that early season hunt. And of course, bow hunters can't go wrong with the sales and service at Country Village Sporting Goods, 965 Smackover Highway in El Dorado.
And welcome back to, excuse me, had to clear my throat a little bit. Welcome back to the ProMed Press Box. We're here at the Dyson Service Company postgame show. El Dorado takes home the win, 28-10 over the Lake Hamilton Wolves. And Alan, let's go through some stats really quick here. Lake Hamilton had 49 rushes for 167 yards and went 6 for 13 passing for 61 yards. And now you pointed out something a minute ago about that.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about this is it was 62 total plays for Lake Hamilton that they ran on offense. On the opposite side of the field, that's 62 plays that El Dorado's defense was on the field, right? And so you got to give credit where credit is due to Coach Hill and the defensive coaching staff for the Cats coming out in the second half and really not allowing a point, right? I mean, that defense completely changed the game, right? It was a completely different defense, completely different look. And it really shut Lake Hamilton down in the second half.
Yeah, and you talk about Wildcat defense was on the field for 62 plays, whereas the Wildcat offense was only on the field for 35 plays. Yep. They went 26 rushes for 180 yards and went 4 for 9 passing for 125 yards. Now they still scored 28 to Lake Hamilton's 10, and Lake Hamilton definitely had some stutters and some falters along the way where they hurt themselves, especially there at the end where they took 4 plays in a row that were for a loss, and then several penalties that wound up taking them from what would have been a 3rd and goal from the 2-yard line all the way to 4th and goal from the 30.
Yeah, and you started to see kind of what Lake Hamilton had kind of shot themselves in the foot several times in the second half, to where that's kind of how they've been most of the season, right? I mean, they come into this game 3-7. They struggle scoring points, right? Again, over the last 4 games, they've scored barely over 40 points. And again, they scored 10 tonight, right? So that trend continues tonight, while the Cats actually, on the opposite side, underperformed on the offensive side of the ball, ran half as many plays as Lake Hamilton, but still had more total yardage than Lake Hamilton did.
Yeah, more total yardage and more points. And I think that just really speaks to the explosiveness of this Wildcat offense and the things that they're able to do. Wildcats maybe had a quarter of possession, of
time of possession.
Exactly. You get what I'm trying to say. You're smelling what I'm stepping in. And so, I mean, if the Wildcats only had possession of the ball for 12 minutes and Lake Hamilton had the ball for 36 of those minutes, which is about what it shook out to.
It certainly felt that way.
But every time the Wildcats got the ball, they were either being explosive with it or they got shut down.
Yeah. I mean, it was either a 3 and out or I mean, it's a 2-play touchdown. It was hit or miss, right? But at the end of the day, the defense was the highlight of the game for the Cats, right? It was. The defense was the highlight of the game.
Yeah, and it also doesn't help when Lake Hamilton has 13 penalties for 79 yards. So they really didn't help themselves any there, and the unsportsmanlike late in the game certainly shut down just any chances that they had at making a comeback. And
I would have loved we can obviously go back and look at the stats, but how many of those 13 penalties were in the fourth quarter?
Oh, man, I'd say at least 4 or 5 of them, if not 6.
It may have been it was in my opinion, it was at least half of them. At least half of those penalties came in the fourth quarter. I mean, they had several positions where they were like 3 penalties in a row where they were
you're right.
First and 30, right?
I agree.
So, at the end of the game, it was 6. So, they have 6 penalties in the fourth quarter for the Wolves. And when you're trying to come back and you're trying to beat a team like El Dorado, who's so athletic, such a good defense, you can't shoot yourself in the foot.
Not at all. And the real time for the game, I mean, Alan, it's only 9:30 just now. Real time for the game was only 2 hours and 17 minutes. This game flew by tonight with a whole lot of running from Lake Hamilton, who had the ball most of the game.
Yep.
And so it's going to be an early night for us, a lot better than the nights that we got back from West Memphis and Marion at 3 o'clock in the morning. And so just before we wrap it up for the night, what were you most excited to see from this Wildcat team tonight?
The defense. I mean, it was the defense. You know how explosive the offense is, right? The offense can pop off at any point, right? The defense, we talked to Max earlier. They had to prep for an entirely different offensive scheme this week. I mean, that in totality is a completely different metric when you're getting ready to play like a new game like this against an offense like that. You're basically planning essentially a whole new defense. And so for them to come out, struggle a little bit in the first half, but then make a lot of changes, put Lake Hamilton in some very negative positions on offense, and force Lake Hamilton to throw the football, and then you saw that defensive line really take over the game.
That's right. And so Wildcats did a fantastic job, and we're going to take a break here in just a second, and we're going to come back one more time before we conclude the postgame show. But Wildcats did a phenomenal job on defense, because on defense, it's not about how many explosive plays you can get. It's about how steady and strong you can stand even when you're on the 62nd play of the game and still on defense.
Yeah.
And so we're going to take a break here at South Arkansas now, and we'll be right back after this.
When it comes to protecting your home or business, trust the name that's been serving South Arkansas for 3 generations, Cross Roofing and Sheet Metal. From residential roofs to large commercial projects, the experienced team at Cross delivers quality you can see and reliability you can count on. Cross Roofing and Sheet Metal, built on trust, proven by results. Call Cross Roofing today. Put a solid future over your head. For longer than most of us can remember, Timber Lane Meat Market has been a staple of our community, where quality meats and friendly faces come standard. From everyday dinners to weekend cookouts, make it fresh, make it local, make it Timber Lane. Be sure to check out the daily lunch specials and like us on Facebook. Timber Lane Meat Market, 1336 West Hillsboro in El Dorado. Proud to be part of South Arkansas, and even more proud to be displayed on your table.
Non-stop phone calls, registered mail, repossessions, or threats of lawsuits from creditors, and it seems like no one is willing to let you hit pause and just catch your breath. You need the help of Robert Rushing and the Rushing Law Firm. Bankruptcy is not the end. It can be a chance for a fresh start. The Rushing Law Firm goes to work for you, letting you hit that pause button and start over. Call the Rushing Law Firm today at 870-875-2940 or stop by the office at 725 Northwest Avenue in El Dorado. The Rushing Law Firm.
Serving South Arkansas for 25 years, and all the while expanding and growing throughout the state, ProMed Ambulance is proving their motto of world-class care and hometown values. For example, their new mobile integrated healthcare communications center. This state-of-the-art facility allows communication specialists to work directly with local 911 call centers to ensure the closest medical team is always dispatched to any emergency. World-class care and hometown values. For more information and career opportunities, go to ProMedAmbulance.com.
Homes are typically heated or cooled 24/7, 365, using nearly half of all home energy. That new stainless steel refrigerator may look cool, but upgrading to the quietest and most efficient HVAC system can have much greater rewards. Choose a system with a Wi-Fi-enabled thermostat, so the most important appliance in the house is also the smartest, allowing you to set the perfect comfort level from anywhere. Presented by Lennox. Learn what perfect feels like at Lennox.com.
Welcome to your postgame show, brought to you by Dyson Service Company, your local Lennox dealer. Now is not the time to find out that your heat or your AC unit can't keep up. Call Russell Dyson and his crew today, 870-862-0409. This is what perfect feels like. Let's go back to the stadium for a recap of tonight's action with your Dyson Service Company postgame show.
And welcome back to the Dyson Service Company postgame show here at Memorial Stadium in the ProMed Ambulance press box. Again, Wildcats took the win tonight, 28-10 over the Lake Hamilton Wolves. And I've got Alan Tyson here with me. And Alan, the Wildcats got a fantastic win, and they're going to travel to Shiloh Christian next week, all the way up in Springdale, Arkansas. But while we were away at that break, we heard some scores and we heard some kind of shocking news. And so Junction City has a pretty substantial lead over Bearden in the third quarter right now. I don't remember the exact score. I think it was 51-12.
12?
12?
I'd say 52-12 maybe.
Yeah, 51-12 in the third quarter, last that we heard. And then actually the big shocker there in the playoffs for 2A is that Hampton is down right now. And so if Hampton loses and Junction City wins tonight, that means Junction City will have home playoff games all the way through to the state championship, which would be huge for that Junction City team.
Huge for the Junction
I know that
Bandits.
Coach Byron Jones, Coach Chris Morphus, and head coach Devin Ball are all really excited about that, but they're not thinking about it right now because they're focused on the game that's in front of them right now.
That's right.
And now, next week, traveling to Shiloh Christian, Wildcats are going to face a really good football team.
Yeah.
Based off of what you saw tonight, what's going to be the key? What's going to be the key for them to win that game?
I mean, it's going to be physicality. I mean, it's going to be physicality. You're not going to face Shiloh's not going to put an offense like this, like that they faced tonight. This was a really good prep for them to move into the Shiloh game because this Lake Hamilton team came out and was extremely physical from the first snap of the ball game, and they made El Dorado earn it tonight. And now the Cats stepped up to it. They made a lot of defensive adjustments at halftime, and it essentially came out with the win. But I think this was a really, really good prep for the Cats going into a Shiloh Christian game that is going to also be very physical. But the Cats on defense have to stay physical, and they've got to get after the quarterback when they get up to Springdale.
That's right. And so you won't be joining me next week, kind of playing musical chairs with my partners. And so next week, Grant Merrill is going to be back on the call with me. For those of you who watched the West Memphis game, he was the one who provided your play-by-play color commentary that week. And so he's going to be back on the call with me next week as the Wildcats travel to Shiloh Christian to for the second round of the playoffs. For everybody at home watching, also remember to tune in Tuesday nights live at 6 p.m. I host a show called Fifth and Goal where I talk to the coaches from around the county. That's going to include Junction City, Smackover, Parker's Chapel doesn't have a playoff game, so they won't be there, but Strong and El Dorado. And so please tune in Tuesday night to hear from the local teams and the local coaches about the playoff games that they just played and the playoff games that they have coming up. And be sure to tune in next Friday as the Wildcats travel to Shiloh Christian all the way up in Springdale. I tell you, Alan, I drove all the way back after West Memphis and after Marion. I promise you, I'm not doing that after the Shiloh Christian game.
That's a long drive.
I've got an older sister. I think she might still be watching. Her name's Micah, and she's a third-year law student at the University of Tulsa. So I think I'll just make the quick little drive over from Springdale over to Tulsa and
that'd be a good decision.
Yeah, catch the couch because I'm not trying to drive 5-6 hours back for a third time this season.
No.
And so for those of you who won't be able to attend the game, you can watch it with us. It's been an amazing honor to get to call the games all season with these guys, and some of them have come up and told me that they watch the game almost as soon as it's done because the huddle's not posted yet.
Yeah.
And so
they can catch film right now.
Yeah. I mean, some of those guys are already starting the stream and looking back at certain plays. And so everybody at home, we appreciate you so much for all of your support. And thank you so much for watching. My name's Jack Sanford. This is Alan Tyson. Good night.
Locks for our doors, cameras around our homes, alarms for our vehicles. Yet we go online with little to no protection whatsoever. You are 14 times more likely to have your identity stolen than your home burglarized. And if you work from home or have any business over the internet, the chances are even greater. EDP Solutions offers both full and co-managed security services, vulnerability assessments, and 24/7 monitoring. And this isn't some company on another continent. These are our neighbors who take seriously the responsibility of keeping you and your family safe online. EDP Solutions, delivering technology and office solutions with value and commitment.
For nearly 50 years, South Arkansas floors have been covered by El Dorado Custom Carpets. And not just carpets, but true hardwood, laminate, stone, porcelain, ceramic, marble, and more. And guess what? It doesn't end with just floors. El Dorado Custom Carpets carries a tremendous selection of backsplash, wall tile, and area rugs. The truth of the matter is, one commercial can't come close to telling you everything you can find at El Dorado Custom Carpets, 1601 East Main Street in El Dorado. Call 870-862-4945.